Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. Wow, let me get there. And for anyone new here, thank you. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Wow, with that, let me get to it. Jeez. So this is my first pick a card back since I've been sick. I know I posted one earlier this week, but I had actually recorded that before I got sick. So, yeah. It's been quite the journey for me, but I'm well, and I thank you for all the well wishes and all the positivity that everyone sent. It really does mean a lot to me. Today we're doing a love reading. This is a love message, okay? So let me give you this intro and let you know my love readings are a lot different than most people's love readings, okay? I'm not here to give you the, oh my gosh, they're coming in and this is what's going to happen. I'm here to give you whatever messages come out with the cards. The good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. And sometimes the messages are difficult. So right off the bat, this could potentially be a triggering reading for some. And I just want to say that right off the bat, okay? I don't do readings like a typical reader. I am an energy reader, and that is why I use the Tarot Marseille. I'm a very intuitive person. I get psychic messages. I connect with my mediumship abilities to do this. And so I just want to put that forth. But I'm going to be doing a few more love readings on the channel because I've been asked to by source. So that's what you're going to see more. But I wanted to say this in the intro before we got started, and I will mention in the piles as well to check out the intro so that there's a better understanding of how I do these readings, okay? So I'm not here to stroke egos. That has never been what I was intended to do. I'm here to give you the message, and if it's triggering in any one way, shape, or form, remember that we can always learn something from our triggers, or if need be, to go ahead and stop watching and find something else that maybe doesn't trigger you, okay? I'm fine with that. I understand that. So, with that, today we are going to be using the Animal Spirit Guide Oracle by Kim Kranz. So I've got these set up for us here. And let's go ahead and hop to the prayer and get this underway. I have all of my love cards out today. I'm not using a love tarot. I'm actually going to be using Tarot Marseille across the board today. So I'm not planning on getting any clarifiers, but if I do need clarifiers, I have my secondary Tarot Marseille, my small deck available, okay? So, but I'm using my good old trusty large deck that I always use today. All right, so let's get this underway. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. Love is such a testy topic, right? We're always looking for romance, or looking for a soul tribe, or looking for those people that really get us, and looking for those people that really truly understand us and are allowing us to be ourselves. And really in this, what we're seeking for is for us to see ourselves in this way, to allow ourselves to be free from judgment from ourselves, to be free from ridicule from ourselves, and to be okay in our skin in this here moment. But sometimes that's much easier said than done. And so with this love reading, with any of my readings, I ask that you come forth and bring the message that we all need to hear in this time. Not the message that makes us feel like, oh yeah, everything's working out for me, but the truth. I ask that the truth comes through. The message that is going to resonate on a soul level and remind us that while we want and desire love, it isn't what makes us whole and complete, because we are already beings of love. We are already beings from that unconditional love that is you, and that it doesn't take another person to bring us back home. It takes us connecting with our higher self and connecting with you to come back home into that unconditional state of love. So today I ask that you lead the way for us. Today I ask that you grab all of our hands and walk us down the path that's going to bring us closer to our higher selves and closer to you. I ask that you open up doorways for us so that we can find the love that we desire in this world, even if it's not the love that we expect it to be or with the person that we expect it to be, but that it is the love that you know we are deserving of and have been deserving of since our birth. As these words are spoken unto this reading and upon this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, Ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. So let me go ahead and get that set up out of the way over here. All right, I'm going to give this a quick shuffle. All right, source, for the love reading today. And I don't have a question. Like, I'm not like, what is love? What are they thinking of? Like, I'm not asking that. I'm just asking for the love message for you, okay? So whatever it is that's meant to come through for you, it could be in regards to romantic love, friendship love, family love. Take it as it resonates. But I just want to point that out, okay? I'm not giving a specific question for source to answer. Rather, I'm opening it up so that source can bring through the messages that we need at this time. Okay, so source, the love message for my collective. The love message for my collective. Thank you. The love message for my collective, source. All right, so what animal spirit oracle will help us better understand the love message for pile number 1, source? Okay, thank you. All right, so what animal spirit oracle will help us better understand the love message for pile number 2, source? For pile number 2. Okay, it's that one right there. Thank you, source. And for pile number 3, source, what animal oracle card will help us better understand the love message for pile number 3? Love message for pile number 3. Wow, thank you. Okay. We've got the stingray as an overall energy on the bottom. I actually don't know what the stingray means off the top of my head. There's so many animals in the animal kingdom, so remembering them all is kind of one of those things. But let me see if I can find it and read a little bit about what the stingray says. Dolphin, whale, swan. Alright. Beaver, octopus, starfish, fish, stingray. Developing confidence, a sense of self or spine. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, which is easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, which is challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. So when in balance, it's eager and wants to grow. When out of balance, it blames others and quits. And to bring into balance is to move through the discomfort. So that's the overall message for everyone. That's pretty powerful. Right? And especially for that to come out on a love reading, and especially how I was feeling what I needed to talk about in the intro. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful confirmation as to what I was saying. Like, this is not about what you want to hear. This is going to be about what you need to hear. Okay? So let me make sure we're in frame here. For pile number 1, we do have this beautiful seashell for you to choose from. Okay, and I apologize, I don't know what their names are, but I just don't. And for pile number 2, we have this beautiful seashell to choose from. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful seashell to choose from. Okay. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your love message. If you didn't catch the intro, I just would recommend those of you that trigger easily to definitely check the intro before you watch this reading, because this is not a typical love reading, okay? We're going to get a love message, but I'm leaving it open to source to give us what comes through. For anybody that continues this journey with me, I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is the love message for pile number 1 today, source. What would you like them to know? What is the love message you have for pile number 1 today, source? What is the love message for pile number 1? Okay, so we've got the 4th house Pisces energy, and we've got Venus coming out. All about finding your new magnetized energy upon healing from family wounds, and recognizing that the illusions that you have been dealing with from family, right? So feeling like I'm not enough, feeling like I got to carry the guilt, feeling like I am forever burdened or a burden in life. So this is that energy where it's like there's been a lot of illusions that have been placed on you since you were a child, since you were very young, and it comes from family dynamics, and it comes from family lineage and those generational curses that are coming down and getting passed on each time, and each time they get more cemented into our DNA and our makeup, right? And so through those cultural roots, there's been a lot that has played at your magnetism, like what you've brought into your life. So maybe you brought in a lot of difficult relationships, a lot of illusion-filled relationships, people who have manipulated you, people who have deceived you, right? People who haven't been very kind, people who at first they may have been extremely compassionate and caring, only then to move into this place of distance and being closed off. And it's like not giving back to you. There's this energy that's coming through of you're not receiving what you were putting in. Okay. And whether that's from past energy, or that's what you've been going through currently, or that is what you might go through coming up, there's a lot of escapism here. It's like running and rushing to a relationship or a connection to escape something in life, to run away from how you're feeling internally. Or it's like when a trigger comes up with someone, it's just easier to move on to someone else. And it's not a play at your character. This is not what Source is bringing in. It's just bringing in the tendencies that happens when it comes to love in general, and saying that sometimes it's very hard for you to magnetize the love that you deeply desire, especially with Venus coming in here. There's hard for you to magnetize in that love because of these feelings of inadequacy that are being highlighted with this Piscean energy here. Okay, it's like feeling like you're the one that has to put forth all the energy, otherwise no one's going to show up for you. It's like, if I just let things play out, everything is going to fall apart. But Source is saying, like, if you let things play out, then the people who aren't giving to you or who are breadcrumbing you or who aren't showing up are going to fall away. But sometimes we want to hold on to that so tightly because it's scary to let that fall away. It's scary to say like, oh my gosh, like I can't let that go because there's going to be this huge void in my life, when you're not seeing that there's already a void and you're actually trying to fill it up with these people that you want a relationship with or a connection with. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that there's always going to be a sense of you having to carry the relationship on your shoulders. And you might actually have been someone that's dealt with a lot of physical sickness and over romanticizing connections along the way, and then feeling like the whole world is against me, like everything is out to get me, nothing's ever going to work out for me. And Source is saying that that is actually something, it's not your fault. That's something that comes from being raised in the situations that you've been raised in with this fourth house energy here, and that it's been playing a lot at all the things that you've been manifesting in your life, because it's just very underlying. You know, Pisces energy is very dreamy, it's very elusive, it's very mystical, it eludes us, right? It's something that's always eluding us. And so it's like when you get close to figuring out one of those wounds from childhood, it quickly swims away and it's just right outside of your grasp. And so it's like what you're grabbing onto instead is something that's familiar, and that's filling that space with chasing after people who don't want to give to you the way that you want to give to them. And so with Venus coming out here, Source is saying we're trying to help you come into this balanced state of seeing yourself as this beautiful being, as seeing yourself as this really deep person who has so much to give, but is not obligated to give that just for the sake of having a relationship. You deserve to have someone put you first and not treat you like you're an option or treat you like you're not valuable when you are so valuable. And this is a shift in perspective here with Venus coming in. This energy is very clear to me right now. It's just a shift in perspective of saying when you treat yourself as the prize, and it's not that whoever it is that you want in your life isn't the prize. It's just saying that when you treat yourself like the prize and that person also goes out of their way to treat you like the prize, then you get to give them that gift, which then makes you both lucky, right? It's not just one or the other. It's not being arrogant and saying, yeah, I'm the only one that's surprised. It's just saying, like, if someone else sees your worth, they're gonna put forth the effort. If they don't see their own worth, then how can they ever put forth the effort to see your worth when they're expecting you to do what maybe you have always done? So we're definitely seeing a pattern come through with the start of this reading. And that is why I said, if you did not catch the intro, to go and catch the intro, because this is going to be a lot different than the love messages that you might be used to. Okay, I just don't do love readings like that. I just don't. I've tried, it doesn't work for me. So let's get some tarot on it and see what comes through. So Source, what does the love message look? Splitting the deck, and we have the Empress in the reverse and the Ace of Swords. This is showing that there's been a lot of impulsive actions that you might have taken in your life, thinking that you were taking clear action, like thinking, oh, I'm being led down this path. This is what I need to do. This is what I have to do. I have to go towards this person, or I really have a connection with this person, or whatever the situation is, but not seeing that this person is in this very impulsive state. Like, I'm just trying to feel something to fill a void, filling this truth. It's like you might have the connection with the person, but that doesn't mean that the person is in a healed space, right? We can have all types of connections with people. We can, in fact, have unexplainable connections with people who are mirroring back to us our family wounds. We have the Eight of Cups coming out on the bottom here. Again, Piscean energy. The Eight of Cups in this deck talks about family situations, family dynamics. And so we have family dynamics at play here being brought forth quite a bit for your reading. So Source, what is the love message for pile number 1? Right off the bat, we get the Lovers in reverse, showing there's been betrayal, there's been cheating, there's been third-party situations, people keeping you at arm's length. You may be keeping others at arm's length for fear of commitment. Whatever the situation is, you know, own where you're at. People who are tricking you into believing something that there is not there, right? Like, it's easy for me to feign the emotion. If I can convince somebody that I have the emotion, if I can convince somebody that I'm in love with them, or if I can get somebody to fall in love with me without giving them anything. We've got the 8 of Cups on the bottom in the reverse. See, I want to make sure you can still, okay, if I put it there, you can still see the dice. Okay. Yeah, so this is an interesting energy with the 8 of, did I say the 8 of Cups? The 8 of Coins. We have the 8 of Coins on the bottom in the reverse. This is someone who is better off living in societal constructs. So we see a lot of the love situationships that have come into your life that haven't been stable, that haven't been what you wanted them to be, or that haven't been up to your standards, are because there's a lot of societal construct that's at play here. People building on false foundations, people not wanting to put forth effort, people not wanting to make a change, right? Yeah. And not seeing that there are people who want to see you succeed, but maybe they're not in a position to give you love right now, or maybe they're not in a position to be that partner that you need, but they have been there through a lot with you and trying to help you rebuild that emotional well-being. But there's something here that needs to change materialistically, right? There's someone who does care about you deeply, but we see here that it just not able to come through in the physical right now, just not able to bring through that physical love that you need. And it's because they're dealing with a lot as well. But there's also this expectation with this energy here. It's like, I expect big changes because I've healed. And yes, those big changes are coming. But at first we have to acknowledge, what am I doing when I'm seeking love? Like, how am I filling myself? Yeah. And listening to the intuitive notions. And sometimes our intuition is going to take us down paths that we might not like. Look at this. We've got 3 cards, and all 3 of the cards are mystery cards coming out for you. 2 reversals and 1 upright. We have this energy coming through here. It's like you're able to read people's energy, but sometimes it's almost like your emotional ego gets the best of you and says, no, like, I don't want to be alone. And it's easier to go towards that than it is to walk away from that. And if you didn't catch the intro, we've got the stingray on the bottom of the deck over here. We have this interesting energy of aligning the chakras through this, but this talked about letting go of what was old and familiar and embracing the unfamiliar, right? What's uncomfortable, and sitting through that. And so we read this from the book in the intro because it was on the bottom of the deck and it's a collective message. And that's that type of energy that's coming in here. Is this, it's like, I'm uncomfortable because dealing with this, whether this is an ex, right? This could be an ex that was very manipulative. This could be many people who were very manipulative. This could be someone who put you in a third-party situation that was completely unfair. This could be someone who cheated on you, someone who broke your heart, someone who spiritually tore you down. There's a lot of scenarios that are coming through. What we see that is tried and true is this is someone who is unsure of themselves and used your emotions as a play, right? Like, let me play on pile 1's emotions. And for you, pile 1, it was easy to go into that because of those family dynamics that we talked about with the dice. And again, this is not blaming anybody, right? It's not blaming this person. Yeah, it would be nice if they took accountability for their actions, but understanding that they're coming from that same type of dynamic that you're coming from as well. It's like, so why it's easy for you to rush into something like that, or why it may have been easy for you to rush into something like that early on in your life, is because of not knowing any better and because of those childhood wounds playing out the way that they did in that very unstable environment. And the same thing with them, their wounds are playing out in a very unstable environment. And together the dynamic becomes this complete chaotic cycle that continues and continues and continues. And so here we see it's like saying, Source is saying to listen to your intuition, read into the situation, read into it. You can do that. You're a very intuitive person. We have Pisces energy. It wouldn't surprise me if you have Pisces placements, have a water trine, or have Pisces moon, sun, moon, rising, or Venus, Pisces in the 12th house, Neptune in the 12th house, if you had a lot of benefic Neptune placements as well. But we do see the psychic energy that's coming through, but sometimes it's difficult for you to trust that because you're seeing the hardships that people could potentially put you through. But that's where discernment comes from. Instead of trying to fill that void, Source is saying trust that those intuitive notions are helping you to weed out people who are going to put you in situations like this. We're not trying to take you down a bad path. We're trying to help you rebuild again, right? And to have this switch, this change. And the 5 of coins is something new. It's something different. Whether it's in the upright or the reverse, it really means the same. It's just talking about a massive change, a massive shift. This is something that's new. And we want to bring in somebody with the 10 of Wands in the upright here. Somebody that's going to be there with you through thick and thin. Somebody that's going to go through trials and you're going to be closer because of it. Somebody who's not going to shy away at the first sign of difficulty. Someone who's going to bring in this very stable, emotional growth in your life. But also we have to get you to this place as well. And in order to get you to this place, we have to take you down this road of facing the fears that have been built over time because of situations you were put in while you were growing up, where people didn't respect you, or where people didn't see you, or where people were just always trying to push you aside, or where people were like putting you in situations that made you feel guilty or not good enough or not worthy enough. And it's like Source is saying, like, I want to bring love into your life, but right now we can't even do that because we're trying to face these wounds of the past. And sometimes the only way to face those wounds of the past is to face them through other people and other people that are going to trigger those wounds. And I know that's hard to hear. Like when we hear love readings, we want to hear that our person is coming and it's the exact person that we want. And oh my gosh, they're going to be the best of the best. And they're going to treat us like, you know, some fairy tale. But this is the 3D, right? And it's not that fairy tales don't exist, but we also have to take it in strides, right? We can't just jump in and hope that everything's going to be picture perfect, because nothing in life is picture perfect, right? So I wasn't going to get clarifiers, but I feel like I need to for you. So yeah, we have the death card, or what you might know as death. We have the nameless coming out. So this is about you overcoming and letting go of some kind of deep betrayal that has happened to you in the past. So the reason why it's so difficult to manifest love right now is because there's some sort of story that keeps playing out. Right. And again, we have kings and queens of the past, which also points towards parents and our lineage. So it's like this is something that continues to play a part in your generational line. Okay, this is coming in your DNA. It's like designed by that. It's something that you chose to come to heal. That doesn't make it easy. Right? It's something that, yeah, if I show up and I do what I need to, that's simple, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So we're trying to find a foundation in something that was completely unbalanced. And we see through that, it's the completion of a cycle here. Yeah, something that was, oh, yeah. So I do feel like you've been on the receiving end of judgment. Look at this. We still have mystery cards coming out. This is a profound message from Source. This isn't just like a, yeah, you can skirt over this. This is like Source coming in saying, this is a profound message. So I get clarifiers, and I'm already, out of these 6 cards, we already have 2 that are mystery cards coming out on top of mystery cards. You have the Justice card clarifying the Magician, both in reverse here, showing that there's been a lot of judgment judgment in life. Judgment for people doing things that we ourselves are doing, right? That bigotry that's coming through. It's like, oh my gosh, like you're a cheater, but also you might be cheating yourself, right? Like whether you cheated on somebody or not, that doesn't make us not cheaters, because we could be cheating on ourselves, right? We could be lying to ourselves. We could be betraying ourselves. And when we understand that and observe those actions and those thought processes within us, then we can allow these really tightly wound, chaotic situations that have a hold on our memories, that have a hold on our minds, to let loose. And when we let them loose, we can free ourselves from the prison that they've created in our lives. So let's see what we look. The Magician in the reverse again. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is crazy. Already, this energy is next level. So you have the Magician in reverse clarifying the Popess, and it's like showing, it's like, this is why you have to use your intuition. But also I feel like the Popess is pointing towards why you're so empathetic, like why you have this strong sense of empathy. It's because it's easier for you to pick out the danger in the room. And this is sometimes something that we don't talk about as empaths, is like the reason we get so connected to people is because that person's actually dangerous for us. Because we've had to pick out the danger in situations in our family dynamics. And so we immediately become attracted to someone that's technically dangerous for us, because we see similarities in that person to the things that we experienced when we were younger. And so we see here that's something that's very difficult to let go of. So there might be someone here that has been a repeat offender in your life, or there's a repeat situation in your life that's a mirror of this very energy. Okay, someone that's very tricky, someone that's not honest, someone that has their own agenda. They're coming in with their own agenda, and they're playing loose with your emotions, and they don't take it seriously. They just want to have that physical connection with you. They just want to have that physical contact with you. They don't want to build anything else. And the reason being is because it's not letting go and forgiving the situation that happened before. Remember, we're not forgiving others to give them a free pass. We're forgiving the situation so that we can free ourselves from the chains and the bonds that it holds on our life that create these repeat situations. Because the more that we hold on to that with resentment and hurt and pain and fear and anger and suffering, the more that's going to continue to show up in our lives, those exact same situations. So we see here it's already repeating. Okay, and look at this. You got 6 cards in this spread, and all 6 cards are mystery cards. That's incredible. You've got repeat card right now coming out on the bottom. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords. It's time to be okay with cutting people out for the sake of saving yourself. Okay, whether that is giving people the silent treatment, whether that is saying nothing at all, whether that is just being, unyielding in your boundaries. It's like, I know we don't want to have those things done to us, pile number 1, but sometimes we have to dish back how a person treats us because of those boundaries. And it's not saying like an eye for an eye. It's literally not saying that. But it's like if you're trying to connect with someone and all they do is give you one-word answers, right? If you're texting someone and you had these great conversations, they were so amazing, you're doing everything in your power to bring back those amazing conversations, but suddenly somewhere along the way, something happened and they're only giving you one-word answers, right? Now is the time for you to also give one-word answers. Stop trying to carry the relationship. Stop trying to carry it on your shoulders, right? It's not up to you to make that decision whether or not this person is a part of your life. Even if you are attracted to them, why should you be the only one that puts in the effort, right? And let things fall into place, which sometimes is falling apart. And that's what we come back to, that is that scary energy. But yeah, this is what's going to help you finally build this emotional integrity. And it's going to help you feel very comfortable with your differences. What's peeking out here? Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety that's being brought forth because of this, though. Like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Like, that's not okay. I can't treat people that way. But again, sometimes you just have to give people what they give to you. And again, I'm not talking about an eye for an eye. It's not go and manipulate people. It's literally that. Like if you have a family member who's in your life and every time you try to talk to them, they give you the silent treatment. Well, every time they talk to you, you could say, look, I just don't have time to have this conversation right now. Or if they keep pushing it, just give them the silent treatment as well. It's just showing you have boundaries. Like, look, I went out of my way and I told you I don't have time for this. And if you don't get that, it's not my fault if you don't appreciate when I'm sitting here and I have nothing to say to you because I'm busy doing something else. Okay, we have to start looking at it that way. And it hurts an empath to do that because it's like, but I never want to treat somebody the way that I've been treated. But sometimes there's the golden rule, right? Treat others as you wish to be treated. But we also have to remember this. I think they call it the silver rule. Sometimes you have to treat others the way that they wish to be treated. And the way that someone wishes to be treated will say everything about where they're at. And that's how they project that emotion back onto you too. You don't have to take it just because you care about someone. That's not fair to you. That's something you're carrying on your shoulders. And that will continue to put you in situations where resentment will grow out of control. We have this cardinal energy on the bottom with instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. It's time to spark your flame. Okay, we have Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn energy. I'm hearing Capricorn 7th house. It's coming out very clear right now. Okay, let's get some oracles out here, Source. What is the love message that you have for pile number 1? Ghosted. Yep. What was I just talking about? Someone giving you the silent treatment, and ghosted is the first card to flip over. What are some love messages we have? Secret crush. But see, you do have somebody who wants to see you succeed. I'm just going to make a mess real quick of oracle cards. I feel like I want to get one more. Oh, I guess that one too. Okay. On the bottom, we have unfinished business. It's not over. Patterns, back and forth, and baggage. Patterns. Look. Repeat cycles. Things that keep coming up. Things that keep happening. Right? This is something that keeps coming back in. Okay. On the bottom, we have 22. Opportunities, expansion, possibility, courage, exploration, growth, and fearlessness. I'm not going to read this because it's so big, but we'll get back to it. Let's get some shadow aspects for this reading, Source. What's the shadow aspect for this love message? What would you like to tell? Okay. We've got all these flipping over. We have deadly combo, dangerous when together, triggering, explosive. This is that energy. This is a very harmful energy. This is that magician in reverse energy that I'm getting here. We have fierce temper, has too many anger issues, dark moods, and abusive. So yeah, there's someone here who is not who they want you to believe that they are, but I do feel like you're seeing this. The mask is cracking. We have undecided, choosing between lovers, competing for affection. What was I saying? You don't have to be the one to carry it all. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Source, for clarifying this. Thank you so much. Let me move these over here, and then we'll check these out real quick. So we did have ghosted that flew out. We have disappear, silence, ignore, and rejected. So I do feel like this could be someone that has ghosted you many times in the past, or this is something that the trigger, right? The trigger comes from being ghosted, and then you're trying to fill the silence with something else. We do have secret crusher. You do have an admirer, attraction, suitor, and butterflies. Or this could be your secret crush is doing this to you as well. Okay, take it as it resonates. There's a lot of energies coming in right now. We have crumbling on the bottom. Was I saying this societal construct? This is something that's falling away here. They don't want to put in the work. It says what you built feels like it's falling apart. It's okay. You have the strength to build anew. This energy is very palpable. Like it's so thick you could cut it with a steak knife. That's how thick it is coming in here. It's just incredible because it's just really sad. Like I would never wish this on anybody, and I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this pile number 1. But love is something that is supposed to be beautiful, and it's like, how can you experience something beautiful when it seems like all it's ever been for you has been work and stress and upset, and like you're the one that has to do everything, right? And we have number 7 here with the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back onto love. And so you have these children here, and I feel like, again, this is pointing towards, this is something that's coming from a childhood wound. This is a repeat cycle from a childhood wound. And so we have to face that childhood wound. Yep, a hiccup of confirmation. And when you let that go, and you face that childhood wound and you sit with the discomfort of that, of not being loved the way that you deserved, of not being seen, heard, acknowledged, whatever it was that came up or that comes up, when you sit with that discomfort, you walk through the storm and come out on the other side, and you're no longer going to be putting up with this shadowy energy. Look, honesty is essential. Speak with love and truth. What was I saying? These people, the mask is cracking. It's falling apart. Okay, honesty is essential. We have to be honest with ourselves. Number 38, which is 11, and 11 talks about that spiritual growth, okay? All right, so let's get some of these. These are the Answer Oracle cards. What are some more messages we could tell pile number 1, source? Okay. What are some more messages for pile number 1? More messages for pile number 1, source. Okay. On the bottom, we have timing, deadline, synchronization, rhythm, and movement, right? Divine timing is at work here. It's going to take some time for you to heal, and just, you know, whether it comes in right away or it doesn't, don't look at when is love coming. Look at rather, when am I going to be ready for love, or how can I get myself to be ready to receive love? Because I don't feel like you're in that space just yet. And you might believe that you are, and that's okay. But we see here, there is a situation that continues to play out. And it's like, if you're saying I'm ready for love, but then this situation plays out again, you're recognizing that you're not ready for love, right? The lesson will come back. And then you can say, okay, how can I get myself ready to receive love and to be in that embodiment? We have process, journey, growth, path, and experiences. Exactly. It's a process. We have dream, desire, omen, nightmare, and fantasy. What was I saying earlier? It was like, when we got the dice, there's like this romanticization of love and what it should be. And look, pile 1, I get it. I'm a Pisces. I have so much Pisces in my chart. It's kind of ridiculous, okay? So like that whole, you meet somebody and you dream a whole life with them in a matter of 5 seconds. Not only have you had kids together, you experienced the white picket fence, you've traveled the world, you've grown to be 90 years old together, and somewhere along the way they break your heart because they never reach out to you again, and you're like living in that fantasized world of, no, we have this life planned out until we're 90. I get it. Okay, like, I've done plenty of times, and sometimes it's just not that way. We have to really face those patterns within ourselves and let them go. Okay, we've got give up the previous plan. Release old patterns. Wow, thank you, source. We have embrace change, clear the way for renewal. Yeah, so letting go. Doing something new, doing something different. We have letter, note, text message, and invitation. So I feel like this person is reaching out to you either via text message or DM. Like they're constantly in your energy doing something to try to get you to come back to them. Sometimes you just have to let it go. We have eternity, immortal, frozen, infinity, and curse. And we see this is that energy of the generational curses that is coming in here. Okay, things are frozen right now because we're asking you to face this part of yourself. We're asking you, look, ascending, level up, promotion, and progress. This process, we're trying to help you to grow. We're trying to help you take this journey. We're trying to help you see things from a higher perspective. We're not trying to break you down. We're not trying to make things difficult for you. We're trying to help you heal parts of yourself that you asked for help healing from. Okay, and sometimes that's not easy. We've got apple, wisdom, death, sexuality, and joy. So we have this death of a cycle here. We have this death and rebirth coming out, reconnecting with your sexual well-being, also your sacral chakra. This is my right to feel and to experience those emotions, finding joy again, but having that wisdom through that process of death and rebirth. So let's get some yin yang cards on it. Yeah, we're trying to bring in your wish fulfillment. But it only comes from this ascension process, going through the journey, okay? Of course, I wish I could give you a time frame, but when we focus on the time frame, we're not focused on the journey. We're not focused on the healing. We're not focused on what we need to do to become our most aligned selves. And that's what Source wants you to focus on right now, is becoming the most aligned version of yourself. And I know that's not all exactly comfort zone, South Node clinging. Yeah, let's get out of that South Node energy. It's suffocating. Okay, let's come into that North Node. Let's come into that positive energy. And again, this isn't meant to be a negative reading. It's what you need to hear at this time. But I feel like maybe you might be watching a lot of love readings and everyone's telling you, oh, your love is coming, your love is coming. And you're so focused on that. And the thing is what happens when we watch a lot of love readings that tell us stuff like that, then the next person that comes in that's kind or generous or nice to us, we immediately put these expectations on that person. And that's unfair to not only us, but to them as well, because they may not be able to live up to those expectations. And so we end up putting ourselves into a very awkward position of thinking that this is going to be the person that's going to fulfill my dreams. And so we pour all this energy into it, and then this person doesn't have that type of energy to give back to us, and then we're brokenhearted and miserable. But it's like, well, but the tarot said, and instead of looking at what do I need to heal so that I'm ready to receive and ready to be the person in a relationship that I want to be, instead of just looking towards love. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not here trying to deter you from following love readings or anything like that. That's not what this is about. It's just about looking at all sides of ourselves and recognizing that for as much love as we have, we also have the shadow, which is the fear to that love, okay? Yeah, nurture and compassion. It's time to bring yourself into a place of nurturing yourself, giving yourself that compassion, giving yourself that love that you desire. Taking care of you for now. When you take care of you for now, things will get better. Okay? Eternal love. It's like flew out. We're trying to bring this in. Wasn't I saying that? That love growing old together here. Okay? Eternity. Wow. Consistency and soulmate. We have eternity here. Yeah. So right away, like Source is trying to show you, like we're trying to bring you in a love that's going to be there for you, a love that's going to last, but you have to be ready for that, because right now there's a lot of stress, headache, pressure, and lack of sleep. There's a lot of stress on trying to find love. And Source is saying you got to let go of this stress to find love and come into a place of receiving. Let's get one more of these. Yeah, alliance. What did I say with the 10 of Wands? That alliance. There's going to be someone who comes in. This is true honesty and compatible. This is somebody who's a friend. They're going to be there with you through thick and thin. And it could eventually turn into a love relationship. We have sweetheart here. Look, pure, unconditional love and beloved. And not a lot of these cards actually talk about love. But I was asked to bring them out today. And I think that that's so funny. You actually got eternal love and the sweetheart card together here. So let's see. Let's get some romance angels here. Okay. And on the bottom, look, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I cannot make this energy up. It is very clear the type of energy that's coming in here that Source is trying to point out. Okay, this is a grip of cards. Let's get through it. We've got sextile, a combination of tension and flow, potential in a rewarding situation. When you go through the discomfort, you're going to be rewarded. Right? The tension and flow. It's like pulling back a rubber band, and you can only pull it back so far before it breaks. And what we're trying to get you to is that point of where you release and let yourself fly straight towards what it is that you want to manifest. Wow, we have breakup, walking away, ending, separation, it's over. Whoever this person is, the closure is where you're at. Like, that's the closure. And sometimes that's a hard place to come from, because it's like, well, they didn't take accountability for the way they showed up. They didn't take accountability for hurting me. They didn't do this. They didn't ask for forgiveness. They didn't tell me they were sorry. No, but their actions were closure enough as it was. And sometimes that's really hard for us to take, right? Like, because it's not enough, but sometimes it has to be enough because there's not going to be something else. addiction, toxic attachment, drugs, alcohol, and obsession. Yeah, so there's definitely this addiction. And Pisces energy, right? What was I saying? That escapism, we can talk about addiction as well. Okay. Soulmate, twin flame, soul contract, soul connection, and past lives. So this could be a toxic connection that you have with one of these labels here. Okay. We have anxiety, stress, depression, panic attacks, and restless. And we have stress coming out again. Okay, so this is something that's very stressful for you. The way that this person shows up in your connection, it's very stressful for you. It's almost like you just resigned to the way that this person is. It's like, well, that's just the way they're going to show up. You don't have to resign to anything, right? Source never wanted you to go through that. We have wedding, marriage, forever, the one. This is what's so stressful as well. There's this expectation here, okay? We have, look, 12-12 choices. Exactly. Just because everybody said it has to end in this doesn't mean that that's everybody's story, right? We shouldn't start putting cookie cutter ideas into the spiritual journey because that's not how it works. And sometimes everybody says, well, but if it's a twin flame, it has to be this, or if it's a soulmate, it has to be this. But the truth is that each one of our journeys are unique to us. And we're here to bring a certain aspect of that journey to the world, which means that it's not going to be like everybody else's. But that's also scary because it means that there's no controlling it. And when there's no controlling it, it means that we really do have to let it go and surrender. Okay? So we have choices, decisions, stability, caution, focus, future priorities, and clarity. It says the universe advises you to act with caution. It is important not to pursue all your ideas at once. Instead, make a choice and focus on the option that will provide more stability for your future. What choices do I need to make now, and which option will offer the most stability and long-term benefit? Take time to evaluate your options carefully, list the potential benefits and risks of each choice, and choose the one that aligns best with your long-term goals and provides the most stability. We're trying to bring you into a more stable place, a more balanced place. Memories, old acquaintances, old debts, recollections, and prejudices. Yeah, so this is someone who's you share a lot with. But time doesn't always equal loyalty. Letting go. Wow, what was I just saying? Surrender, open, give up, and release. Yeah, it's time to surrender. Come back to yourself. Affairs, mistress, and third party. We have a lot of repeat messages with these cards. We're talking about someone putting you in a third party situation. We have finances, money problem, work, success, and fortune. Right now, focus on building your empire. Okay, whatever that means to you. Miss you. Yeah, miss, wait, and eager. I feel like more than anything, maybe this is this person. Maybe it is. But more than anything, this feeling that I get is this is you saying this over and over again to this person. Like, I miss you. I really miss having you in my life. And so it's like every time this comes out and everyone's like, oh, they miss you. You're like, oh, I miss them too. I'm glad I'm not alone. And they're saying like, really, it's because you miss them so much. And what you're saying is like, I miss myself. You miss being with yourself. You miss getting back to you. And so it's like coming back to yourself. You don't need to stay in this waiting energy any longer. Yeah, why? Because it's tormenting you. Anxiety, bondage, depression, and troubled. I mean, this is some very clear energy coming through here for your reading. Silence. Keep silence. Coercion and hints. So again, this idea of being ghosted, but it's time for you to stay silent. There's nothing you need to say in this. We have roll the dice, take a chance, leap of faith, and risk. So it's time for you to take a chance for yourself, on yourself, right? This could be a water sign. Didn't I say you could be a Pisces or a Pisces highly aspect in your chart? A Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Could be a water sign you're dealing with. You could be, they're detached and they're cold. Yeah, this is very clear. Remember, awakening. We're trying to bring you back to who you are. It just, well, that's the message that I feel so strong, is bringing you back to yourself to bring this love in. So there's somebody here that's spying on you, watching and inspecting you. And I feel like that's also tormenting you too, because you're feeling their energy constantly. But it's just, you know, let them do what they're going to do and don't worry about that. You take action for yourself. Have the courage to take action for yourself and bring luck to yourself. You are your own luck. Okay, and when we have Earth sign, and I think, didn't I say Capricorn in like the 7th house? I think I said that earlier. Keep getting that energy of like, there could be Capricorn in the 7th house. I hope I said that earlier because I felt that. But Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And then we've got live and learn. Experience, training, and development. Yeah, so this is just an experience that you're meant to live and learn. See, this is another thing. There's passion here. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. That's another problem because, you know, it's like there's a lot of passion between the two of you. That can't be mistaken. But just because there's passion, that doesn't mean it's love either, right? You're calling in your soulmate. Yes, your prayers and affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. Okay, so you're calling in your soulmate. Your soulmate, I don't feel, is this person. And that might trigger some of you because, again, we had all those labels that came out earlier. But there's really there's a thick tension between the two of you that doesn't feel like it's going away anytime soon. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. This is that energy. They keep coming in. They keep coming in. I think they come in and you're like, oh yeah, you're finally remembering who you are, but then they close themselves off again. And it's just this, that's why I'm saying it's like this cycle. And Source is just trying to get you to this place where you feel comfortable being who you are and knowing that you're so worthy of love, pile one. So let's take a look at your card. Wow, you got the peacock. I was not expecting the reading to be this long today, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, peacock, dragonfly, nightingale, hawk, peacock. Inner beauty, compassion, and assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. As I say, we're trying to help you heal from this, okay? The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. When in balance, is confident and kind. When out of balance, can't digest situations. To bring into balance, meditate on the navel. Yeah, so that's very clear. It's like coming into this place of just being able to digest all of life as it is. Like, even if it's not what we want it to be or what we expected it to be, just knowing that it is as it's meant to be. And sometimes that's very difficult, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. It's like we have this idea and we expect things to be a certain way. And when it doesn't work out that way, we get really upset. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It's just that when we let that become our reality, we end up coming away from our spiritual path, right? And so that's what Source is saying here. It's like trying to paint a picture for you. Like, I know you've got this connection with this person. I'm not trying to deny that connection. What I'm trying to remind you of is that you're worthy of having someone return respect, honor, integrity, honesty, love, and kindness and compassion to you. And if they're not doing it, you don't need to wait around and hope that they get a bug up their rear end and figure it out. You're not an option. You deserve someone to show up like that the first time around, okay? Oh, I love you, pile number one. Here's a big, big, big energetic hug. Okay, just know that you're so supported and loved, all right? If you felt like this was your reading, leave a little peacock emoji down below and say, I step into my power and I remember I am the worthy gift. I am the amazing individual and I deserve to be seen exactly as I am. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. Follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatterlove Radio. You can even join as a member. I would love to see you on membership, so if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. With that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this amazing, incredibly deep reading. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your love message. I do want to say quickly that if you did not catch the intro and you trigger easily, go back and watch the intro. It explains what this message is going to be like. I don't do love readings like normal people or normal tarot readers or however. There's going to be a lot more that comes in with this. It is going to be very in-depth, but definitely check out the intro if you missed it. For anyone that continues to watch these videos and this journey with me, I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate below, it would mean so much to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is your love message for pile number 2. So Source, what is the love message for pile number 2? What would you like them to know? Source, what is the love message for pile number 2? What would you like them to know? Source, what is the love message that you have today for pile number 2? Would you like them to know? Okay, so we've got the 3rd house, we've got Capricorn energy, and we've got the Sun. For you, pile 2, I do feel like this is going to be a specific about twin flames. I just want to put that out there. If you don't feel like you're on the twin flame journey, definitely check out one of the other piles. There could still be messages in here, this pile for you, but I do feel like we are talking about the twin flame journey. And before I even get into it, I want to say trigger alert, because I already can kind of feel this is not going to be what everyone expects it to be, okay? I just want to put that out there. Okay, so let me tap into this energy. There's something about the way that you think this is supposed to play out. It's like everyone has said it is supposed to be XYZ. That it's supposed to go this way and it can only go this way. And if it doesn't go that way, then obviously I'm not doing something right. And it's playing a part on your confidence and your well-being. And it feels like there's this energy that's coming in when it comes to you being a twin flame, that if I don't get things exactly the way that everyone says that I'm supposed to get them, you become very rigid or very cruel and harsh to yourself. Very unforgiving is the word that's coming through here. Very unforgiving towards self and unforgiving towards others who may be trying to help give you messages that are supposed to help you overcome the challenges. But there's this energy of, it's like, they don't get it. They don't get it. I'm supposed to have it this way and it's supposed to be this way. So there's like this energy, especially with this Capricorn coming through. It's like this Debbie Downer energy that's like very stubborn and very stuck in a certain way. Like it has to be XYZ. If it's not XYZ, then they don't know anything about the journey. They don't know anything about what's going on. And it's almost like you're hearing the egregore has grown so big of that it has to play out like this. And I actually said this in pile 1 towards the end, but it's interesting because they want me to show you or tell you as well, is that even though it's a twin flame journey and everyone's saying it has to be a certain way, the spiritual journey has no construct, right? There's no cookie cutter version for everyone's journey to be exactly like someone else's. And so for people to say that anyone that goes against the grain is wrong, those are actually the people who cause the most trouble when it comes to our spiritual journey, especially the twin flame journey, because they're saying it has to be a cookie cutter version love story when that may not be the case for everybody. And I'm just going to mention it since we're talking about twin flames. And for those of you that have been with me for any amount of time, you know I don't like talking about twin flames, but that's changing. Source is telling me it's time for me to start bringing forth what I know, what I've learned, my experience with the twin flame journey and what's going on. But something that a lot of people don't want to talk about is sometimes a twin flame is someone who you can't have a romantic connection with, like a brother or a child or a parent or a friend or someone of the same sex, and you're not, you're not like that, or someone of the opposite sex and you're not like that. But we don't talk about those things because everybody wants it to be this cookie cutter version of love. And that's what's coming through here with this energy. It's like really playing on your independence and your self-worth and the way that you see yourself and the way that you view the world. It's very rigid, and it's saying it has to be like everyone else. It has to be, I get this romantic fairy tale ending with my twin, and if it doesn't, then everyone who says it's not supposed to be that way is wrong. But there's vital messages that Source is trying to bring through to you for your own journey to help you heal and to overcome the difficulties connected with that rigidity and that stubborn thinking that causes a lot of pain and strife and triggering. And they can't get through because it's saying, oh, well, there are coaches out there who are saying it has to be a star-shaped cookie. But there's no cookie cutter version of anything on the spiritual journey. It's kind of like basically all of us are stumbling around and figuring it out through experience, right? And that's the thing. And so I talk a lot about this on my podcast as well. So you're more than welcome to check out some of the posts that I have on my podcast, and you'll find the link for that below in the description box. But what Source is saying here is that is creating a lot of pessimism for your journey, which is blocking a lot of your manifestations. It's like it has to be a certain way. And if it's not a certain way, then there's like I keep hearing down the rabbit hole. You're going down the rabbit hole of darkness, and they're trying to bring you back into this place of ascension. So there's a very, very unique energy here, which is why I said if you didn't catch the intro, definitely go back. At this point, you probably know this is not going to be like your average, ordinary, everyday love reading, because that's not the type of readings I do. So let's get some more on it and see what Source wants to come through. It's almost like I'm trying to manipulate the outcome and control the outcome, because so-and-so said that if I did this and I acted this way and I worked on this and I did this shadow work, then my twin flame would come through. So it's like you went through all of those motions and all of those movements, and you did everything that was meant to be doing what they said I promise you get your twin flame if you do all these things. But your twin flame still hasn't come forward, and maybe it's been a long time since you did all of those things and still hasn't come forward, and you're not seeing the illusion behind it. You're not seeing that, oh my gosh, like someone's trying to manipulate me into believing that it has to be the exact same experience as them. Last time I checked, no one has the exact same experience. No one. None of us experience the exact same thing, right? None of us experience the exact same outcome. There's always different situations that arise. And so if someone's telling you it has to be the exact same outcome as theirs, like that should make you want to question, because your life and your experiences are already so different from theirs, right? So Source, what is the love message that you have for pile number 2? Okay, thank you. Yeah, brokenheartedness is coming through really strongly here. What is the love message that you have for pile number 2? A lot of failed relationships. I also feel like this is a lot of failed attempts at getting connected with your twin. Look, I've been down that road. I tried everything. I've tried everything the coaches told you. I bought the courses, did all that stuff. I tried it all. And it never worked. And I know my twin, and I know who my twin is. And finally, Source asked me one day when I was in meditation, said, when are you really going to listen? And I was like, oh my gosh. It was like a light bulb came on, and I was like, oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And then all of a sudden I got all these downloads, and I realized like there's a lot of people out here who are just trying to, pull one over on people, because love and sex are the two highest selling things, which is why I had a hard time bringing myself to do love readings on this channel, because I don't want to be caught up in that. But I'm also realizing now that people need to hear another side of love. They need to hear what love really is and isn't, and be able to have a different aspect or different perspective put on it so that you can begin to make a better educated decision on what's right for you moving forward. I'm not saying what I'm telling you is right or wrong for you. I'm just here giving you the messages that are coming through from source, okay? Yeah, exactly. Romantic frustration with the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Look at this. We have romantic frustration, brokenheartedness. Someone who's choosing a physical relationship over the aspect of the passionate spiritual side of things, and not realizing how heartbreaking it is when every time it doesn't work out the way that they say you should expect it to, it just is driving you down further. It's like hitting a nail in the head. It just keeps driving that pain into you over and over again. And it's creating a lot of dissonance on your journey. Look at this. We have the Pulpes coming out on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, and you know this. This is a thing that's crazy, Pile 2. It's like, it's not crazy. It's just like, it's almost like you have this battle going on inside of you. That's what's going on. You have the battle from the emotional ego saying it has to be exactly how I want it. It has to be exactly how so-and-so said it was going to be, because that's just how it is. And you're gripping onto it so tight. And that's emotional ego. Whenever we grip to something so tight, we're in a state of resistance. And that state of resistance is driven by our emotional ego. Angel, stop. And through that, when we can let go, right? When we can let go and allow things to be and allow it to play out, the fear is like, but this is my twin flame. If I let go and I don't try to control it and I don't hold on so tightly, what if they never come to me? That's a good question, Pile 2. What if they never come to you? What if they don't? What if you go this whole lifetime and you never have a romantic connection in the physical with them? What would that mean to you? Can you be okay if that happens? You know, and everybody's saying like, no, I can't be okay. I can't, because so-and-so said I have to have a romantic connection. We don't have to have anything. We don't. Right? And when we're in that state of mind of saying, no, I have to have it, we're in a state of lack. I'm not saying that it won't happen. That's not what this is. It's just we're trying to bring a message here of healing so that you can look further into why it is there's such this tight grip on holding on to the twin flame dynamic like you have been. Right? There's been this state of we're trying to give to you. We're trying to give back to you. We're trying to help you find that alliance within self, with your higher self here. We're trying to help you connect to that higher realm, that higher dynamic. But instead, been focusing on the unfairness of how things have played out. It's unfair that I've done so much work and I haven't connected with my twin flame. It's unfair that I always feel like I have to start over. It's unfair that it feels like everyone else is winning and I'm not. It's unfair. But it's this illusion of the physical that's playing at your mind and not letting you come closer to the spiritual beyond the veil and what's going on here. What do we have? We have 5 of Cups with networking energy and the 4 of Coins in the reverse. This is keeping you in a state of stagnancy. Okay, this is what's happening here. It's like you're too stuck on it has to be the way that I want it to be, or it's not necessarily conscious either. So I'm not saying like you're doing this out of spite or anything like that. That's not what this is. It's just saying it's like I'm stuck in this place of where it has to be the way that I want it to be, either consciously or subconsciously. It's creating a block, and it's creating a block that's keeping you from networking, because what happens if you network with someone and you end up falling in love and meeting someone and getting married to someone? Oh, we're not supposed to marry anybody on our journey. Says who? Says who? What if someone comes into your life tomorrow and treats you like the queen or the king that you are and gives you everything that you've ever been asking for? Is the person that you wrote down in paper and asked source to manifest for you, but just because they don't hold the label of twin flame, you're gonna let that person go because it's not your twin? And then let's just say that happens and you go your entire life What do you think is going to happen when you're 70 years old and you look back and you're thinking you're still waiting on your twin? Are you going to be happy about that? Oh, I'm so glad I waited my whole life with my twin and I gave up the want of having a family and having kids and, you know, creating a legacy through that way and creating connections, very valuable connections in my life and teaching kids the way that I wanted to be taught. Like, imagine that. But no one talks about this stuff. No one talks about the what if of it. Well, if we all live in what ifs. No, but we are on the spiritual journey and we have to question everything. To have true faith is to question everything. What if my twin never comes back? What if I never get the love in this lifetime that I thought I was going to get with my twin, but yet you let go this perfect person that Source said, I brought this person to you and it's what you asked for. They're everything that you wanted and more, and they're going to give you everything that you could have ever wanted and more. But you're in a state of stagnancy and refuse to network and refuse to get out there, refuse to put yourself out there because of this. What would that mean to you, Pile 2? That's the question that keeps coming out here. It's almost like I feel the sadness. Like I feel the sadness in your soul. It's like, well, but I have a certain idea for my life and I really wanted to be with my twin. But if your twin, here's the thing. Everybody says that if you heal, your twin will heal, right? That's a great sentiment. That is a great sentiment, but a sentiment is all it is. Because at the end of the day, we're still humans. And I understand the idea of energetically affecting people. And I do. And I've been told I'm not healed. And that's fine. I'm not here to convince people of the healing that I've gone through. And I'm not here to convince people of what it is that I have experienced on my own journey. Right? I'm here to share that experience and to share what information that I've received. That's what I'm here to do. And the message is clear. It's a sentiment nonetheless. Right? At the end of the day, there's still a person who can make their own decisions. It's like everybody says we don't have free will, but that's the one thing that Source promised us in this life as a human is to have free will. We can choose what we want to do. And if this person is in a state of resistance and they refuse to get out of that state of resistance for their entire lives, which some people do, then what? You're just supposed to be at a loss because this person is being stubborn and they don't want to choose that. Or maybe that's what you both chose before you came in incarnated on this earth. Maybe that's something that was a soul agreement between the two of you as twins that you decided before this earth. And no one wants to talk about those agreements because everybody thinks they know the outcome of how it's supposed to happen. But if that was the truth, then why aren't more twin flames together? That is such a valid question on this journey, and yet we're not looking at it that way because we're over-romanticizing what the twin flame connection is. Because we think it should be the Notebook love. We think it should be all the romance books that we've read and all the romance movies that we've seen, but it's anything but that. So if it's anything but that, why are we trying to put it back into a cookie-cutter version of what it's supposed to be? I wasn't going to get clarifiers in this reading, but exactly. Yep. Okay. This is a difficult change for you. This is a very difficult change. It's very uncomfortable. This is something that's uncomfortable being brought up. And I understand that this is not a comfortable reading. Even for myself, this is not a comfortable reading. But again, I'm the channel and I have to bring the message as I see it. Okay. I have to bring the message as it's given to me as I feel it. Look at this. We've got the King of Coins in the reverse. Yeah, there's a lot of dissonance here. Okay. Let's see what this is. Let's just flip this. Yeah. Yep. Okay, all these reversals. This is very, very strong. This is something that's very uncomfortable. It's like I can't commit to networking with other people because I was told I was going to have this sexual experience that's going to blow my mind and I was going to get it in the physical. But it's showing here, it's like there are some people who have a tendency to pull the wool over people's eyes just for a quick buck, just for the money. Okay, even if you don't spend the money with these people, that doesn't mean that they're honest. It doesn't mean that they have integrity. Okay? we see here there's this immature drive here, and I feel like whoever this twin is, they're very much in this very immature energy. They're very much connected to the physical. They're not thinking about what they're doing to you because they're thinking about how they can get themselves ahead right now. You might say that's not a twin flame, but you know what? Everybody is a person, and they have what they are doing in this life with what they're doing in their energy, and it's just this very clear energy of where someone is not willing to commit, but they also like having you in limbo because it's almost like it gives them an egoic boost. And here's the thing is with the Popess on the bottom of the deck over here, you've been watching this unfold. You're aware of it. You're energetically aware of it. You're emotionally aware of it. You're mentally, I would say maybe mentally not so much. Okay? But you're spiritually aware of it, and spiritually your higher self is trying to lead you away, but every time it leads you away, it's almost that that resistance becomes so strong that it pulls you right back to this dynamic. It pulls you right back into this heavy energy of feeling very uncertain, of feeling very ungrounded, saying, well, I'm supposed to have the sexual experience of my life with this person. I'm supposed to have the sexual connection with them in the 3D with this person. I'm meant to have all these XYZ things. And it's just a very difficult thing, right? And so we see there's non-commitment here. There's non-commitment to anything. It's like all you're asking for is a commitment, but we see there's a non-commitment here. They don't want to commit. And you're in this very beautiful energy right now, but it's still focused on the past. I'm still focused on what's going on in the past. This is a very toxic situation. This could be Capricorn. Both of these are Capricorn energies coming through very strongly here. Yep. Look at that. With the Ace of Cups, this is what they're saying. You're very focused on this physical connection. It's become quite an obsession with you with the Devil here. And we're seeing what that is. It's the love. It's the connection of the love, having that love here. But I love that the Ace of Cups is coming out here for this reading. The completion is remembering that it's not about the connection with this person. It's about the connection between you and the divine. If you see this cup, it looks like a cathedral, right? Looks like a cathedral, and the Ace of Cups in the Tarot Marseille, really in its depth and what it's talking about at its base meaning is that it's this beautiful connection between you and the divine, you and the divine one, you and the creator. It's this beautiful connection that is unchangeable and can only grow deeper and deeper and deeper when you get into it. With the World card coming out, it's showing the completion of this cycle is for you to remember that connection, to remember that divine love, and to come back into that place, right? We see Judgment coming out here. It's like fear of airing our dirty laundry, right? But it's coming out. And with the Judgment here, it's like there's no getting around it right now. There is this energy that it's being brought out. Even if it's uncomfortable, it's being brought out. And it's like the more it comes through, it's like the more you see sense, the more you see the logic. And I know it's an unlogical connection. I get that. It defies logic. But it doesn't mean that just because this connection defies logic that we should lose ourselves to reason, to unreason, right? Like that's not what it means. Source was never like, let me give you this connection that's going to make you go cuckoo your whole life and you're never going to be a reasonable person or take care of yourself. But that's exactly what we do. We're like, oh my gosh, it defies logic. Let me be this crazy person that's so obsessed with this person that never talks to me and never comes forward, leaves me heartbroken and hurts me all the time. We have, look, exactly, that 8th house coming in. Transformation, karma. Big one coming through here, facing fears and leaving legacies. And wasn't I talking about that? What if you want to leave a legacy of a family and then you end up waiting for this person and they never come through? And you're just like, well, everyone says I'm not supposed to be connected to anyone else like that. Your journey is not everybody else's journey. You have to do what's right for you, okay? And I get that. And I know that this is triggering information. I know it is, right? It was triggering for me when I had to learn it. The first time around, I was like, I didn't want to. I didn't want to learn it because everybody said I'm supposed to have this amazing connection with my twin flame. But the more I realized it, and it was the more that I accepted this, all of a sudden, I finally came into spiritual union with my twin. Look at the card that flipped over. Divine intervention. Exactly. Serendipity, catalyst, supernatural, and karma. This is a divine intervention. Source is coming in. It's like we're trying to help you move to the next level here. But see, that's what's hard. It's like when you get into that spiritual union, it's like all of a sudden the 3D, it just ceases to exist. It's like now that I have spiritual union with my twin, I understand, like if I go and try and connect with somebody in the physical, it's not that it's not going to work out. It's just like I understand that it's not going to take away that connection that I have with my twin. It never would have and it never will. But it's like I'm also understand, like if there's something that I want to experience in this world, my twin's not going to hate me because of it. And we shouldn't be painting this picture like the karmics are karmics, because they're not. In fact, if you look at it and they were married to someone before you came into the picture, logically speaking, that makes us the third party, not the person that they're involved with. We need to stop painting the person that they're involved with like they're an awful person. They're a bystander stuck in this weird dynamic anyways. Imagine if you were that person, right? Wouldn't it feel weird if all of a sudden someone came in and they had this crazy connection with your spouse and like, what the heck? Like you'd be like, what is going on? But everybody's painting these people as like, oh, they're the karmics. They're the bad guys. They're like the devil incarnate. No. They're just somebody that's trying their best too. Okay? Like, it's just crazy sometimes. Like, I think about it. It's like, we have this idea that things are supposed to be so black and white. We forget that this whole world is technicolor. On the bottom, between the lines. There we go. Hidden meaning. Vague. Speculative and implicit. Yeah, it's time to read between the lines. And sometimes we don't belong there. And that's scary because, well, if you meet your twin in this lifetime, you're meant to have them. If you're so stubborn about something, then you haven't given way to spiritual ascension. Spiritual ascension and unconditional love is encompassing of all, the good, the bad, what we want, what we don't want, and understanding that it's exactly as it's meant to be. And there is no controlling that. It's surrendering to the process exactly as it is, going with the flow. 1818, look. Or I'm sorry, 818, breaking old patterns. Patterns, reflection, change, growth, mindset, and cycles. I'm not gonna read the bottom one of this because it's so long. And you're gonna get a lot. Let's check out the shadow aspect of this reading source. What's the shadow aspect of this reading for pile number 2? What's the shadow aspect of this reading for pile number 2? Wow, demanding. Yep. Look, I can't. Unrealistic expectations. High maintenance. A diva. Yeah, that's the type of energy that I keep getting. It's like, no, it has to be. But it's interesting because I don't feel like that's actually you. I feel like that's just through all the research and all this learned stuff. It's like carrying on someone else's belief system. And that's that energy that I kept getting. It's like this unrealistic expectations. Like, we're all here doing the best that we can. Even us twin flames, we're here doing the best that we can. And we're here to learn unconditional love. And unconditional love is not, well, I'm only going to love them when they're with me. Or I'm only going to feel like I can love myself when I have my twin in my life because I'm incomplete. You were never incomplete. You were, yes, maybe we transitioned into 2 souls to come here to do 2 lifetimes, right? 1 soul, they say 1 soul split in half, come to 2 lifetimes, but it doesn't matter. Even if we were split in half, we're still whole beings. You're not incomplete just because you were 1 soul split into 2. You'll never be incomplete, but the more that we hold on to that idea that I'm incomplete, the more we feed into the egregore that it has to be this unrealistic expectation. Boom. Other lovers. Wow. I can't. This is crazy. Still involved with the past, cheating, and secret affections. So there's definitely a third party for many of you here in this reading, in this pile. Okay, so there's a third party here. You could be the third party. There's definitely another person involved here. Okay. And it's difficult because when you see them loving someone else and they're not loving you, it's like, well, why am I even in the picture if I have this? Because they're for spiritual growth. Be willing to express love to receive love with 6. We're trying to balance out your need for love by helping you come back into a space of expressing love. And that might be expressing love with people other than your twin. And that's scary. I know. I get it. Okay. Look, spiritual guides, assistants. Yep. We're trying to bring you these messages. Like I said, I feel like you've been getting these messages a lot, but there's like something that's really stubborn. There's something that's really just ungiving when it comes to these messages. So if you've sat through this reading and you're still here, just know I'm giving you a huge energetic hug, and I'm so proud of you because I know how difficult these messages are. I know from personal experience, okay? This is why I just didn't want to talk about twin flames for the longest time. It's not that I don't know about them. It's because the judgment of having a different viewpoint than the mass majority. That's what it always was. And I realized I can't live in that anymore. I'm done living in that fear because there's a reason I was created the way that I am. And there's a reason that I was created to do shadow work in exactly the way that I was created to do it. And I'm tired of running from that part of myself. Rejection, loss, fragmented. Yeah, this is what I was saying, like feeling like you're fragmented, feeling like you're incomplete, feeling like that rejection is a huge loss, but it's really not. Okay, it's helping you to open up to your truth. It's helping you to spiritually awaken to yourself. But rejection is hard for anybody, no matter how far along on the journey you are, no matter how far you've come on the journey. Like, rejection is still hard. Okay. All right, we're going to get some from the Answer Oracle here. Source, what other messages do you have for pile number 2? Love message for pile number 2. Okay, one more. I feel that one. Thank you. On the bottom, we have evolution, transformation, reinvent, and new beginnings. Yeah, Source is really trying to bring you into this evolutionary time frame where you grow beyond the wants and desires of the physical and come into the space of really embracing the spiritual journey in and of itself. We have surprise coming out here with unexpectedly another way and beyond imagination. But what's really standing out is another way. There's another way to get that you would like to go. Are you willing to receive the surprise from the universe? Are you willing to receive the surprise from Source? That's the question. Okay, the miracle. Yeah. This flipped over. Dreams come true. Get what you want. Yeah, you asked for it. You asked for beautiful love. But it might not come in the package that we expect it to come in. And can you be okay with that? That's what's scary. Like, being okay with maybe it's not going to be who I thought it was. But detaching from that is so powerful in and of itself. That's where you gain a sense of sureness about yourself, and you gain a new sense of just being strong and powerful in yourself. Hope, wish, expect, and desire. Yeah, so again, with the expectations coming out, things aren't always as they seem, but also holding unrealistic expectations puts us in a place of feeling disappointed every time. And that's something that we don't often talk about. We have accident flipping over here with danger, caution, and injury. And then with it came out calm with inner peace, simplicity, and meditation. So they're trying to help you overcome this hurt, right? Hitting the knee. And the knee is directly connected to our emotional ego. And that's so funny that on this card, he's fallen off his bike and he's really hurt his knee, right? And we're trying to help you find the treasure that you are, the abundance, the valuable energy, this enrichment to your life. But if you don't open up to the treasure and you hold on to what you think it should be instead of allowing it to be what it could be, right? You're being played. Ooh, you're being played. Dictatorship, domination, and reluctance. Exactly. Someone's playing you. Someone else is pulling the strings if you hold on that. And it might not feel that way because it's like, but I want to believe that so bad, right? And that's not a bad thing to want to believe it, but we have to come into letting go of those expectations and come into what it could be. We have merit making here with goodness, humanness, and morality, coming back to focusing on why are we doing this journey, what's so special about this journey for us, and avoiding these natural disasters, this risk, this frustration, this survival. You've been in a state of survival for a long time, and it's wearing on you. It's wearing on your heart. It's wearing on your soul. And it's like accepting less than what you deserve. Right now, that's exactly what's going on. Especially if you have a twin flame that comes and goes and is hot and cold. Like, you're accepting exactly less than you deserve. You deserve to be seen as this beautiful person, and you don't deserve to be put on the back burner. We have honeymoon. Yeah, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And I feel like every time they come back, it is this honeymoon, right? This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And and again, it's not saying that this could be the one. This is saying this is the thought process. I go into this honeymoon energy, and then I'm feeling, oh, this could be the one. This is it. This is the time that we meet where things are going to play out. This is a time where everything's going to come together, and then they leave you high and dry again. And then you're broken, you're heartbroken, and you're feeling so down and out because of that. Is that fair to you? Is it? I mean, really? And none of this, I don't want to hear any of this whole thing. Well, that's what they say the journey is. Forget about that. Forget about that, pile number 2. I just want to ask you, is that fair to you? Is that fair to you that every time this person comes in, they leave you high and dry? Is that fair? Would you do that to them? So if you wouldn't do that to them, then why do you put yourself in a position where you allow someone else to do it to you? That's not fair. And you deserve so much more than that. Look at this. Number 11, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. You can do this. You can make it through this. You can change the way you see this. Okay? Yin energy. Yes, we have intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity with Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. So Capricorn energy again coming out. Again, that rigidity coming through here as well. You could be Capricorn, have Capricorn highly aspect in your chart. Your, let's see, the 5th house could be in Capricorn. Your 7th house could be in Capricorn. You'd have Saturn in the 5th or the 7th house. Yeah, so you could have Capricorn high. Oh, so I'm hearing malefic placements of Capricorn, or you could have malefic placements of Saturn, the tough love, right? Planet of tough love. It's like learning through very difficult lessons. But it's like coming into this place of receiving and knowing that you do deserve good things. But I feel like sometimes you question whether or not you do because nothing is played out the way that it was supposed to. My apologies. I need to take a drink. I feel you getting choked up right now because that's why I needed a drink, because I was getting choked up. And it's like, it's just, sometimes that's hard, right? Like sometimes not giving ourselves what we want is easier because that's what we've always known, right? So we have mystery, unknown, enigma, the illusion, and confusing. So this has been a huge mystery for you. Right? Nothing is played out like everyone said it would. Why? Well, because everybody's story is different. Date, courting, date, dating, anniversary, and meetups. So don't be afraid to go out on dates with other people. And remember to keep an open mind. I feel like that's something that's so important. Don't follow everyone off a cliff just because they say they're right? Do what feels right for you. And remember to let go. Look, we have ghosted, silence, disappearance, ignored, and rejected. Yeah, again, rejection coming up quite a bit here. So there's definitely been a rejection here. Toxic relationship. Wow. Fighting, codependent, misunderstanding, triggering. Healing. We're healing from that. The wounds, improving, mending, the progress that's coming from that. And I feel like dating will also help you heal from this as well. Surrender, letting go, release, giving up, and patience, right? To the mystery of what it's meant to be. And then we have magnetic attraction, alluring, lust, irresistible, and flirting. This is why it's hard, is the magnetic attraction that you have with them. And I understand that. I do. I get that. But it doesn't mean that it's not toxic, right? It doesn't mean that it's not healthy. It's like we get so stuck on the magnetic attraction that it has to be something more than what it is, but we get so clouded by what we want it to be that we're not opening up to what it actually is in front of us. We got number 5. So 555 is a very powerful number for you. Transformation. Change, acceptance, growth, abundance, alignment, potential, and soul's calling. Change is happening and your task is to accept it. This transformation will bring you fortune and abundance, aligning you with your true soul's calling, and you are realizing your potential. How can I fully embrace the changes happening in my life and trust that they are getting me towards my true potential? Today, embrace a change in your life, big or small, and take a step towards aligning with your soul's true calling. So, wow, excuse me. We have 5 coming out. We had the Pope come out with just 5, and then we had the 5 of Cups also all underneath this. So there's this very huge, difficult transformation that's about to happen in your life, and I feel like part of that is just letting go of the belief of what you once thought things had to be and opening up to their potential, right? True potential, the true calling. Seeing your own potential means you have to let go of the expectations of who you thought you had to be. Sneaky snake. Wow. Going behind your back, deceitful and swindler. These are the shadow aspects coming through. Childish. Someone has to be the adult in the room. Maybe the term should be grow up or get out. Yeah, so someone's just not willing to grow up in this connection, this dynamic right here. So I'm saying everybody is a human here. Everybody has free will. They can choose to stay in that toxic energy if they want, but that doesn't mean that you have to stay there too, okay? Guard, defend, protect, guarantee. Yeah, it's time for you to put yourself on guard. Like if this person comes back, guard yourself. Don't just take it just because, right? Because they think they can get away with it. That's not fair. I don't care if they're your twin flame or not. You should not ever put yourself in that situation. Labels should not matter more than the way someone treats us. Ever. I don't care what situation it is. If someone coming in, you're saying, oh, my twin flame, but they're abusing you and they're beating you and they're, manipulating you and they're gaslighting you. No, I don't care if that person's your twin flame or not. You do not deserve that. You don't. That's not fair and that's not right. And nor did Source put you in a put you on earth so that you could put up with that. No. Difference. Road, future, choice, and destiny. A different road. A different future, a different choice, a different destiny. Terrific. Fantastic results, greatness, and great moments. You have good moments coming. And hummingbirds for me are a sign from Source that you're healing. This is Source bringing in healing for you. But it's time for you to be flexible, bend but not break, and shift with grace. The ripples are getting more and more intense. You can't ignore them anymore. Look, dating, connections, romance, and love. It's okay to go on dates. It's okay to try different things. Okay, it's okay. There's somebody out there that's going to be more aligned with you. And maybe it's you going out and dating and disconnecting from this connection for a while that puts this person on the right path. But don't look at it that way. Look at it as you choosing yourself, because that's the only way to look at it. You should be choosing yourself. Letting go. This came out in pile 1 too. Surrender, open, give up, and release. Yep. Trash. Taking out the trash. Waste, worthless, and mouse. Sneaky snake. Look at this. Taking out the trash. Yeah. This is like letting go of something that's been too toxic for too long. There's a really weird dynamic between the two of you right now. And it just feels like someone feels like they're in control of you. And they like that. They like having control over you. They like lording over you. And that's not fair to you. At all. Come into this pure place. Street. We have circulation, sports, and exhibit. Yeah, it's time. This card for me, even though it says this, it just feels like purifying your energy to me. That's what it feels like with all this white. Uninvited guest, surprise, accident, big change, and a moment of decision. Yeah, so this is you choosing something different, right? This person is an uninvited guest at this point. Whether they're your twin flame or not, it doesn't matter. They're definitely uninvited. And they're making themselves at home and they're taking advantage of you. And that's just not fair. Time for you to find your freedom here. Take a leap of faith. Uranus is doing something different because there's opportunities that await you at every corner. Okay? Yeah, party and external. There's a lot of external situations that are affecting this connection right now. And you don't need to be a part of that. So you're in a place of separation, and I know you're longing for them. And maybe they're longing for you too. We're not really looking into that right now. This is all about healing yourself and getting yourself in alignment with your highest good. But right now it's not looking at it as this longing. It's seeing that I'm in separation so that I can come back into alignment with myself, right? taking action for your highest good, seeing those new beginnings, finding luck again in life, and having the courage to see things differently. But again, this and this came out, decisions, right? And a decisions coming out. This is your decision. You get to choose what path you take. You can keep going down the twin flame road. And that's been something that's been apparent this whole reading. You know, it's like you can keep going down the twin flame road and hope that everything works out for the best, or you can choose to take a different path and create your own destiny, right? It's up to you. It's what works for you. I can't make that decision for you. Source is just trying to get you the information to help you make the best educated decision for yourself. Okay? You've been down this road quite a bit. You've experienced a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and a lot of suffering. We're trying to help you get out of the emotional ego here so that you can make a calm, cool, clear decision and go towards what's right for you and what's the most simplistic move for you moving forward. See, attraction. Yeah, so there's definitely an attraction here. It says you attract romantic love by enjoying the moment fully. Coming into this present moment is going to help you out so much. Look, we have separation again, coming out over separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So maybe they are back right now, but again, they're saying it's like they're going to come in and they're going to leave. And I feel like that's something they do. They come in and then they leave. They come in and then they leave. You don't deserve that. Then we have, look, calling in your soulmate. Your prayers and affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. The opportunities here are calling in a soulmate, calling in someone that is going to match your energy, someone that's going to be a part of this journey for the long haul, not someone who's going to come in and out and leave you on blast like that, right? So let's take a look at your animal oracle. Look, you've got the dolphin. And it's so interesting to me because when I first started this journey, dolphins were a symbol of twin flames for me, and it's so funny that that's coming out in your reading here. It is. So we have innately intelligent, and that's the thing. It's like your intuition has been trying to help you find this path to this understanding, but it's the emotional ego that's been getting in the way. Okay, and there's no blame here. No one's blaming you. No one's trying to make you feel bad about anything. That's not what this is. It's just a very sincere, loving message that's coming through that's also very stern, because sometimes we need that stern message, right? It says innate intelligence, healer, light, blessings. The gift of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. So when in balance, it's an active healer and a strong spiritual practice. But when out of balance, underestimates your own power. And that's something that we've been talking about this whole time. Like, but this is how it has to be. You're basically giving your power away to someone who says it has to be that way instead of owning who you are and taking your own life in your own hands. It says to bring into balance, connect with like-minded spirits. Yeah. So you don't have to believe everything just because someone says it's that way. And like I said, and that applies to even here, it's just trying to get as much information as you can so that you can come to the best outcome for yourself. And I am never going to be someone that says, oh, just deal with it, and then one day they'll come to their senses. Forget that. I see you. I see your worth. You deserve someone who puts you first the first time around and doesn't put you in a situation like this back and forth and thinks that they're deserving of it, because the last time I checked pile 2, you were the gift, not them. They have to prove that they're worthy of that gift and in turn turn themselves into a gift for you. Okay? This is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your message, leave the dolphin emoji down below and say, I choose to look at all angles of my twin flame journey, knowing that the answers will come clear when I release expectation and surrender into what can potentially be. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very intense message. Here is a gigantic, enormous, energetic hug for you, pile number 2. I know you're not alone. I love you so much, and I see how amazing you truly are, and I want and pray so deeply that you see it as well. Okay? I love you, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this here and get on out of here, and until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell here, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your love message. Before I get into it, I do just want to mention to catch the intro. I did explain in the intro that I don't do love messages like other tarot readers, so you might want to catch that, especially if you trigger easily. Before you get into this reading, check out the intro. Now we'll go further into it, but I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anybody that is new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and describe down below. And subscribe down below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what your message is. So, source, what is a love message that you have for pile number 3? What is the love message that you have for pile number 3 today, source? What would you like them to know? What is the love message that you have for pile number 3? And also, before we get into it, one thing that did come through before I started your reading was to slow down and to really open up and listen to your heart. Like there's something that you need to observe when it comes to love. Okay, so we've got Cancer, the 7th house, and the Sun coming through here. So we are talking about relationships. Remembering with 7th house, it doesn't just involve romantic relationships. It is our interpersonal relationships. So co-workers, friends, family, business partners, anything along those lines. But it can also talk about marriage and divorce and spouse. Okay, so take it what resonates, but this is talking about nurturing those relationships that really matter to you, that really bring in that feeling of support and that also help you out in the long run. It feels like maybe you've dealt with a lot of passive aggressive energies in the past from people or past relationships that have been weighing on you, and sometimes it's really hard for you to show up authentically in a relationship because of that past energy, or because of moodiness, or people who really take things out on you. That's what it really feels like. There's someone, or there's a group of people here who've taken things out on you just for you being you. And sometimes it's really difficult to show up in other relationships or connections when that's happened before, because it's like, well, are they going to be like that? Is there going to be something that shows up and they're going to give me this really difficult, harsh treatment? Or there's going to be something here that really makes them feel uncomfortable because I'm so authentic to myself, or because I'm standing in my power, or because I'm standing in my light. Especially with the Sun here, we see you're in a very bright place, right? The Sun is the one planet, if you will, in the sky. It's a star, but it's what we revolve around is the Sun. And so when you're in that energy of being in your skin and comfortable with who you are and letting yourself shine, sometimes that creates a lot of dissonance in people who aren't doing the healing work, who aren't being themselves, who aren't authentic, and they have a tendency to project those insecurities out onto others, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. But I feel like you've dealt with that a lot in the past, especially with this combination, and it's been a lot of people who take it out on you in very indirect ways, right? So it could be things like the silent treatment. It could be things like just yelling at you for no reason or trying to blame you for something. It could be anything, really. And it's just showing you here that it doesn't matter, because that's a thing of the past, and you can't make up for how those people show up. Like, you can't be like, oh, well, they should take accountability for themselves. Chances are they're not going to. Like, they're just not in a space to do that. They don't have the capacity at this time to take accountability for their own actions or the way that they show up, because they're not aware of how they're showing up, because their emotions are getting the best of them. And that's why we do emotional healing. And so that's what it feels like here. I just feel like the main thing is to really nurture yourself at this time, and to really figure out which relationships matter to you. Like, which ones really mean the most to you at this time. And if you didn't catch it in the intro, I did talk about how this is not necessarily a romantic reading, but it could be. Okay, so this is just talking about looking into those situations and making sure that you're also taking space and time to take care of yourself, and you're also showing up to the best of your ability for those other situations here. Right? And be confident that you're connecting with people who are wanting to celebrate you and wanting to see you succeed now. You know, you might not have had that type of support in the past, but it does feel like there's an opportunity that's opening up to this. I don't feel like yours is definitely not as heavy as the first two, so I'm glad about that, but we'll see more with the tarot. But there's just this energy of like allowing yourself to be that bright, warm, sunny energy that you are. And the more that you're like that, the more that people are going to gravitate towards you that are meant to be in your life, right? Like, you're the sun, you're meant to call in your solar system, the soul family, right? And so that's what this really, really feels like here. You could be a Libra, Cancer, Leo. You could have the 7th house you could have the 7th house with the sun, with Cancer, with Leo, with Libra. You could have okay, I'm hearing Leo in the 2nd house, Leo North Node. Okay, or North or South Node. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some tarot on it and see what comes through for you, pile 3. Yeah, definitely a lot lighter than the first two energies. So just slow down and listen to your heart. I feel like that message coming in is just saying, like, you don't need to rush into any connection, friendship or otherwise, right? There's no reason for you to rush in. Like, it's okay to take time. It's okay to take a couple years to really begin to build something of sustenance with somebody. You don't have to rush in all fast or anything like that. And that's what it really feels like for you. It's just a reminder that we're not in a foot race here. Right? Okay, so let's see what comes through. The love message for pile number 3, source. Yeah, it definitely feels a lot lighter than the first two piles. And if you watch the first two piles and you're here watching this one, leave a purple heart down below and just say I made it. The Purple Heart Club is for those of you that spend all 3 piles with me, and I do really appreciate you so much for that, okay? So it does look like you confidently know how to disconnect from people who, you know, aren't serving you or who aren't giving into the relationship. Like, you're setting really solid boundaries, it feels like here. And you're recognizing when people only want something that's very immature or that is out of, you know, it's something that you're not willing to give, right? So you recognize that right away. So you're coming into a very healed space, which is incredible. But source, what is the love message that you have for pile number 3? What is the love message that you have for pile number 3, source? Thank you. What is the love message that you have for pile number 3 today, source? Love message for pile number 3. Thank you. All right, let me get these set up here. And then we're going to check what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Coins on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you're in a very abundant time right now, very grounded. very capable of recognizing what you want in your life while nurturing it from a space of, okay, how do I say this? Natural consequences. This is a thing. It's like natural consequences for you. It's basically, what is a natural consequence? So an easy way to explain that would be like if you have kids and one of your kids has a test that's coming up and they're in high school, instead of you controlling how they study for the test, you ask them, are you going to study for the test? And you ask them once and they say, oh yeah, I've got a schedule planned out, and you let them figure it out on their own. Right? Like you were there, you're supporting them. You can ask them, do they need help with that? And if they turn down your help, that's fine. But you let them figure it out on their own. And then say the day before the test, they come rushing to you and they're like, oh my gosh, mom, mom, dad, I didn't study for the test. Like I didn't take any time to figure out the test and I'm stressing out. And instead of you stressing out and trying to figure it out, be like, well, you can do the best that you can tonight and hopefully you pass the test tomorrow. But the natural consequences are literally to let them suffer the consequences of their actions, like without you being the one that controls that. And so, okay, that was a long explanation for what I'm feeling with this Queen of Coins energy here. It's like Source is saying you're coming into that. Like if that's not some place that you feel like you're at right now, that's some place that you're coming into. Like this is you getting grounded and recognizing that I'm not everybody's savior, right? Yeah, this is a big change that's coming in for you. Releasing old habits. Yes, I love this. Releasing people who are cold and unforgiving or who are trying to create chaos in your life. Like you're just in a space right now where it's like, I know what I want and I know my worth and I know what's going on. Yeah, building this very, very dynamic and stable emotional well-being, saving yourself. Wow. Yeah. Here's the thing, like there's been a lot of manipulators in your life. Like I feel like people who have tried to make it seem like, oh my gosh, life is so chaotic. Like you have to come in and save me. Right? And something happened that has shifted either recently or through just the experience that you've had and the growth and the healing that you've had when it comes to love. Right? And now you're recognizing like people's mistakes and people's lives and their shortcomings and their imperfections and like all these things that we try to hide from, right? And all those things that like as an empath, you try to take on and solve for everyone else. It's like you're recognizing that those are all theirs to deal with. And I don't have to hold that. I just have to hold what's mine in my hand and focus on what's mine. And so when it comes to your relationships, there's something here that's shifting and you're actually magnetizing people who are in this same energy because you chose to save yourself. And what you chose to save here was your emotional well-being. Like that's the core of it. You chose to look at yourself and say like, what is creating stress for me and what isn't? And so it's like when someone comes rushing to you with like, oh my gosh, like this and this happened. Like, oh my gosh, mom, I never studied. Or oh my gosh, dad, I never studied. And you're like, well, I asked you and I asked you if you needed help and you said you didn't need my help. And so I left it to you. So this is something that you're going to have to figure out because you knew the consequences of not studying. I can't solve this for you, right? And that's the natural consequences. And that's what it is to stand in divine feminine energy, is to let natural consequences have a play. It's like, if you mess up, you're going to have to show up and figure it out. It's not for me to solve for you. And that's what this feels like. You're coming into a very grounded state. And that's what I was getting from the sun. It's like, you're finding your solar system. It's like, it's not, you're finding other stars, okay? Like you're finding other stars. But when I say the solar system, it's like people who see the value that you have and they're naturally drawn to you, just like the planets are to the sun. Like they stay in orbit because of the sun, because of the gravitational pull, right? And so that's what it feels like. It's like because you're so grounded and in your power and in your energy, it's like these people are coming and they're like, oh my gosh, like they get it. Pile 3 gets it. Pile 3 understands it. And so what Source is saying when it comes to love right now is to really nurture the ones that matter to you. To not worry about any more of these manipulators. To not worry about any more of these people who just don't have their stuff together, who are trying to get you to become their hero because you've learned how to save yourself. and you're focusing on that. And so if you're not yet, this is that message to say it's like time for you to really focus in on yourself, really taking care of yourself here, and stay in that grounded, present energy, like with it. It's like, you know, when everyone's like, oh, like if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you have separate finances, you don't live together, right? Let's say your boyfriend goes out and spends all his money on games, or even your girlfriend, right? So say your partner goes out and spends all their money on games, and they have the mortgage coming up for their house, and they're like, I need you to pay my mortgage. Why is that your responsibility when you live separately and they chose to go and buy all those games? But before, it feels like you were in an energy where it was like you would definitely come forward, rushing forward to save them, to take care of that, and that's stopping. Like, that's something that it just feels like there's this big block that's been put there. It's like, that's just not going to happen anymore. I'm not going to put myself in a weird situation because you went and spent, you know, all your money, or you didn't study, or you didn't do what you know you needed to do. Let's get some clarifiers. I wasn't going to get clarifiers today, but I ended up getting them in all 3 piles. So, well, at least piles 1 and 2. So I'll definitely do the same here. May I please have a clarifier for the Knight of Swords here? No, that's not the one they want. Okay. May I please have a clarifier for the Knight of Swords source? Oh, okay. Thank you. And that's for that one. Thank you. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Yeah. Letting go of responsibilities that aren't yours, right? Things that have left you feeling neglected and unwanted and, you know, disappointed and worried about love too. And I feel like this love relationships that are coming in here, feeling like they're all one-sided, feeling like no one gets you. And with the King of Swords here, it's like realizing that you don't have to put up with this anymore, right? You don't have to take on responsibilities that aren't yours to take. You don't have to keep putting up with this neglected energy where you come in and save everyone and no one saves you. You don't have to put up with this energy anymore, being, you know, betrayed or disappointed in your relationships or having one-sided love. You don't have to put up anymore with people just wanting you because of something that you have to offer. You're putting your foot down and you're defending yourself from that. Like, you're ready to say exactly how you feel about it. It's like, well, that sucks. Or, oh, wow, that seems hard. I hope you figure it out. But it's like, no more like, well, what can I do to help? It's like, well, I really hope you figure that out. You know, I'm rooting for you, buddy. Like, you know, that's what it feels like here with love. Yeah. So getting out of this place of self-sabotage with the Knight of Coins in the reverse here. Self-sabotage. And not like, I feel like a lot of this has to do with money. It's interesting because it's almost like you've had past relationships that have been really reliant on money, pile 3. And it's like when you took money out as a card on the table, no pun intended, but when you took it out, it was like all of a sudden, you know, people started like leaving, or they were like, well, what am I going to do, or whatever, like this. But that's what it feels like. It feels like you taking care of other people. And if it's not, it's like material things, like material needs, like maybe people coming to you, well, I need this, or I need that, but I feel like they're very forceful about it. Like, you know, they couldn't just ask, can you help me out with this? It's like basically demanding your help or demanding that you save them. And now you're seeing, like, I don't have to put up with that anymore, right? I don't have to put up with that greedy energy anymore. Yeah, the Devil in the reverse. Yeah, people taking advantage here. Definitely, again, this idea of money. What do we got here? Look, and then we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse over here. Yeah, not seeing clearly. This is people who were misguided, people who were conceited, people who felt like you belonged to them. Like, no matter what happened in life, you would always belong to them, and they would always have their chains on you, and they would always get what they wanted from you. Whether that was emotional support, mental support, physical support, sexual support, spiritual support, it doesn't matter, right? Like, whatever the support was that you gave is like, they felt like they were entitled to it. Or there's a lot of people here who felt like they were entitled to it. And I do feel like they held something over your head that maybe you're really passionate about helping people, and they held that over your head. It was like, well, I'm someone to help, but it doesn't mean that you were helping with the purpose of helping this person stand on their feet. It was they were expecting you to help them, carry them, drag them, put them on the golf cart, send them on their way, fill the golf cart up with gas when it ran out, even though they were 1,000 miles away. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they expected you to do everything. They couldn't figure it out on their own. Like they couldn't stand up on their own 2 feet, or they didn't make any motion to try to stand up on their own 2 feet. Like they weren't working to better themselves. And they oftentimes, it feels like here, these people, they were making you seem like the bad guy. And so what does this have to do with love? It's just saying that you're coming out of this. That's what Source is saying here. It's like you're moving on from this type of energy. You're no longer letting this be a part of your journey. You're regaining balance. Let's see, the balance comes from you choosing to be the knight, the Knight of Swords in the upright, instead of being run by people who are the Knight of Swords in the reverse, manipulators, conceited, misguided, right? Rushing in without knowing what the consequences of that is. And so you're standing up in this powerful place, and it's shining bright, and it's really rubbing some people raw. Like some people don't know how to put up with it because this is not how you normally are. Yeah. This is not how you normally are. And you're coming into a place of receiving. And I feel like that's the other thing too. It's like you so badly wanted to be seen and have this emotional support for yourself as well. But it was constantly the one thing that was keeping you going back, and it's like chasing people who don't have love to give, chasing people who don't have anything but anger or jealousy or hurt or pain and suffering. And it's like trying to help them see their worth when they don't want to see their own worth. And it's like chasing that, constantly running in. And then something happened where you finally figured it out, like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to run after my own happiness because I deserve to be happy too. I deserve to see good things too in life. I deserve to be seen as someone who's valuable because I am. And so that's what it feels like here. It's like all those mishaps in love, all those heartbreaks in love, all those one-sided relationships in love, they're all bringing you to this place of grounded nurturing for yourself. And when you're filling up your own cup, you're actually filling up others' cups. And I feel like you don't even have to try. Like you fill up others' cups just by being you. Just by being you. And there's a lot of compassion here and a lot of clarity and just abundance. Like this abundant energy that's coming in here when it comes to love. And it's like for you, Pile 3, I feel like you're not really asking for a partner, and maybe some of you are, but I feel like for the majority of you, you're not really asking for a partner or wanting a partner per se, but it's just like, you know, curiosity, right? There's always curiosity. Well, what's love? And especially for those of you that watch me often, it's like, well, what is she going to say, or what's going to come through this time? And it's just showing that it's like, you're in this place of where you're open to what will come through that's meant for you, but you're also not in a place of expectation. And that is such a profound place to be. And especially when this whole world, and that's something I said in another pile, and you may have watched another pile as well, but I had spoken on it where it's like sex and love are the two highest selling marketing points in the world. Right? Like they market love and they market sex, and those are things that are very high selling points. And it's like recognizing that helps us to let go of that game that we get caught up in. And I feel like that's what this person or these people, they were caught up in this type of game. This could be 3 different people, a Taurus, a Capricorn, and an Aquarius. It could be an Aries, a Cancer, a Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo. Or Gemini, yeah. Taurus, Aries, Libra. Okay. Could be any one of those. It doesn't have to be, right? Also, I feel like maybe you have your 10th house in Capricorn, or you have your 10th house in Aquarius energy, or Cancer. Okay. It's interesting with the Devil here. It's like finding a new balance in life. And the balance had to come from you saving yourself, right? Looking into the abyss of what was creating dissonance in your own life. It's like, why do I keep running back to people who don't want to love me? Like, why do I keep trying to lift people up who don't want to love me? Like, why am I trying to save these people from themselves when I just need someone to support me or just talk to, they disappear and they're nowhere to be found. And it's like looking into that darkness and that abyss and recognizing that shadow within you. And recognizing the shadow within you gave you the courage to run towards loving and taking care of yourself. It's very profound and powerful, actually. Let's see what else comes out for you, pile 3. I'm so glad we're ending on this type of note, because the other two were very difficult. We've got Leo energy, yeah. Self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. Yeah, you're definitely in this place, or you're coming into this place soon of being very confident with yourself and where you're at on your journey, which is powerful, right? Fated meeting. Oh, meant to be, destiny, predetermined, and encounter. So there could be a fated meeting that's coming soon, but I feel like you're just open. It's what I'm saying. It's like you're not expecting anything. Like you've let go of these addictive connections that you've had in your life, and you're coming into a place of just trusting that things are going to work out for the better. Yeah. See, that's what I was saying. What did I say? The heartbreak, the hurt, the betrayal, the grief, the disappointment. It created a situation where it was like, do I want to keep living this again, or do I just want to let it go? And it forced you into letting it go. And I feel like it wasn't easy. It was something that's probably very difficult for you, because the familiarity of it is what kept bringing you back time and time again. So, and this could have been an idea about a certain label that was here: twin flame, soul contract, soul connection, and past lives. We have new love. Yeah. So letting go of something that might have been, it has to be, coming into a place of opening up to new love. And I feel like that all goes with this fated meeting, honeymoon, phase, childlike, moving on, and a new beginning. Yeah. So opening up to this new beginning, opening up to what could potentially be here. Get 2 more of these, source. Okay. I feel like that one. On the bottom, we have divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, supernatural, and karma. Clearing out karmic cycles, but also just that the catalyst for your awakening, right? Like helping you to awaken to a higher state of what unconditional love is, but for yourself as well. Not just for others, but really for yourself, because this is what this Queen of Coins feels like. It feels like someone who is unconditionally loving of themselves. And through that, all abundance is seeping from every part of yourself. Look at this. We have 1155 with self-reflection on the bottom. Exactly. Introspection, evaluation, clarity, self-awareness, energy, change, and growth. You came into this place of seeing yourself. Didn't I say that with the devil energy? It's like you recognized that this was the shadow in me. I kept running towards this. I kept trying to get this. What is the shadow aspect of this reading, source? Okay. What is the shadow aspect of this reading? What is the shadow aspect of this reading for pile number 3? Love message for pile number 3, the shadow aspect. Okay, it's that one there. On the bottom, we have been burned. Yeah, afraid to love someone again, unhealed trauma, and runs away. And I feel like this is where you were. Look, isn't it interesting? Because this house looks like it's on fire here, right? It looks like it's burning away here. It's on fire, and the whole forest is on fire. And then with burned, and it feels like that was the whole purpose. It's like you had to rise again from the ashes like a phoenix. You had to get burned in order for you to realize your worth. And it was difficult, but that was the catalyst here. Was all these meetings and all these people, like they're supposed to be a part of my life, and then just having this happen time and time again, this situation. And I feel like it was really difficult for you, and it was really hard to overcome, and there was a lot that you had to go through, but you did. You overcame it. Focus on love. Look for the good in everyone with number 24 and 6, which again is finding that balance. And that's what I feel like you're at now. It's like, even if, like, this is a dragon. right? We all know the power of dragons, but it's like this energy of this, they could be a monster, but you still see that there's still a person trying their best, that they might be coming from one of these places. They might be coming from their own toxicity. And I don't have to be in a place of judging them based on that. I just have to let natural consequences play out. They have to come up and show up for their own life. The only thing that is real is love. Yeah, shift your focus back to love. That's what it feels like. Like you're seeing the innocence in others. And that's a profound place to be, pile number 3, because so many people, they're just stuck in the resentment, the pain, the hurt, the anger. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It just keeps us from our spiritual growth. It keeps us from our journey. And it puts the focus on that situation instead of what's right for us. We've got transcendence and unity flipping over here. Yeah, you're transcending to a new level of spiritual awakening here. Coming into a very high vibration for yourself and for your journey. Look, we've got growth and summer flipping out here too. Yeah, spiritual growth is definitely, this is something that's helping you move beyond this next part of your journey and overcome those situations that maybe had been less than ideal. Okay, that one and that one. All right, we'll leave it at that. On the bottom, we've got renewal, spark, yeah. So this could have recently just happened and now you're getting a spark renewal. Like you could have been through some really difficult situations in the past year, in the past 10 years, in the past 20 years, whatever it is. And it's like all of a sudden everything shifted and you're like recognizing like, I don't need to focus on all these these hardships anymore. Like it just seems like the more I focus on them, the more they keep coming up in my life. So I'm gonna focus on what I can do. Right? We have apology, guilt, confession, and forgiveness. I feel like you're working on forgiving people, right? That focus on love, look for the good in everyone. I do feel like that. And this may have actually sparked where some people have come in and asked for forgiveness or confessed that they feel guilty for the way that they've treated you. But I do feel like for many of you, you're not looking for that apology anymore, where maybe at one point you were, right? So we have inducement, persuasion, bribe, and temptation. So there's people bribing you, trying to get your energy back to them, but you took this vow, wish, hope, and worship. You vowed to yourself, I'm not going to play that game anymore. I'm not going to get stuck in that anymore. And it's like source is helping you as well, showing you the way. Disturbance. Yeah, there's a lot of people here who want to be chaos in your energy. Obscure, irritation, and supernatural again. So you could be dealing with some kind of psychic attacks as well, and you've been protecting yourself and their psychic attacks aren't working. I feel like they're being deflected. Like I'm seeing somebody go like that, like just flicking it away, and it's going right back to the person who's sending it, and they're like, because they feel like, oh, my psychic attacks always work, right? But they're not on you, because you've moved above this place of low vibrational energy, and so you're in a place of high vibration and it just can't reach you. We have coach on the bottom, advice, obedience, and knowledge. And I feel like you are listening to your intuition here as well. Whew, this has been a long day. When I do these, I sit down and do them all back to back. I don't do them on different days. Like I don't start and then show up again. Like I do it all in one go. And so this is a really long reading. This is the longest reading I've had in a long time. And so it's just, woo. I give you all of me. Okay. All of me loves all of you, all your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. I give your all to me, give my all to you. Yep, that's how I feel. I love you guys. We have terrific, fantastic results, greatness, and great moments, and chaos. Exactly, this is that energy I was thinking of. Instability, unrest, unpredictability, and corruption. Yeah, so you're healing. Like, that's the thing. Source is protecting you. But time and time again, there's these people who come in and they've got this weird, bunky energy. And they're like, oh, I'm going to come in and create chaos for pile number 3 because your sun is so bright, right? You're shining so bright. And it shines a light on their own inadequacies and their own fears and their own disturbances. And they're like, I want to project that out onto pile number 3. And it's just not touching. It's like fall short every time. Why? Because source is protecting you here. And I apologize for the terrible singing. My voice is still not back to where it was. So, yeah, we're just going to be silly with it and go with it. We have Father, production, hunting, protection, and teaching. And so this could be a father figure that's helping you. This could be an ascended master that's coming in to help you as well. But it could also be that you're healing the father wound with this energy coming in. And that's helping you in your love life. Okay. Love message. Affairs. Yep. You've been burned. We've got mistress and third party. You've been put in some really awkward positions. Places you didn't deserve to be in. But instead of focusing on that, you're just like, okay, like, that was what that was. I'm not going to hold on to that anymore. And I'm going to let go. And, you know, remember, we're not here to judge people anymore. Like, that's part of us learning unconditional love, right? Is not judging people. So, like, if you were a mistress here, or if you were the third party, to let go of judgment of self. Like, even though other people are so easy and quick to judge situations like that, we just have to remember, like, people don't know why we made the decisions we made, or we don't know why other people made the decisions that they made. And so judgments really hold no value or place when it's directed at ourselves or at others, right? Because everybody makes the decision that they feel is best for them. And that's, I don't know why I feel like I need to say this to you, pile number 3, but I feel like you need to forgive yourself if this is something that you went through, like forgiving yourself for that, because you did what you felt was best at that time. And that's something that is being cleared from your energetic field as well. Right? And that could have been part of being in this chaos and the psychic attacks, is there could have been someone who forced that onto you and you might not have known how to protect yourself, but now you do. Right? So, yeah, we have the law with lawyer, judge, and police. So, okay, this makes sense too. Maybe there was a law situation with the 7th house. There could have been a divorce that was involved. Someone promised divorce and it didn't happen. Like, there's a lot of situations coming in with this card that's saying it's like there were a lot of promises that were made, but they were empty promises that were coming through. And a lot of the unknown and leaving you confused here. Seeing the illusion, not all things are as they seem. Like, someone can promise you the world and the moon and not go through with their promise, right? They can just make all these things. I think that's why it's like when people judge people who've been in situations like that, they don't know what was said. They don't know how things played out. It's like you could say, well, it's all about, you know, morals and integrity. And it's like, yeah, but we're all still humans. And so give yourself that space to be humans. Wow, this is really weird that I'm talking about this right now. There's just like, I feel like somebody needs to hear it. Give yourself that space to be human. Like, you don't need to be in that place of like judging yourself so harshly because of something like that, or even judging another person that went through that. So, because judgment is one of the lowest vibrations that we go through. And it creates a rift in our spiritual ascension, right? So we have very soon, clearly decide what you want now, or what you want so that it comes to you now. Yeah, so something is going to change and shift for you very soon here. Oh, the deck fell apart. Okay, and reconciliation came out. Someone from your past is returning to your life with an engagement. This could be the one. Healing family issues and finances and career all fell out. Okay. I'm not going to look that deep into them. I just feel like that reconciliation wanted to be seen. Okay, so this is a grip of cards here. We're going to try and get through the best that we can. See my time. This is such a long reading. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. We've got Cancer energy here. Nurture, comfort, and protection. Cancer energy coming out twice. So just remember to keep nurturing yourself. Give yourself that protection, that comfort, right? You are very protected. And I feel like just that reminder that it's okay for you to take care of yourself too. Yeah, anxiety, stress, depression, panic attacks, and restlessness. So I feel like this is maybe something that you've had to overcome along this journey with other people, with other connections, especially with with this mistress and third party energy underneath it. It's like there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. That was what I was going to too. I feel like that's why I was saying that. It's like don't get yourself in this state of panic, and don't get yourself in this state of depression because of a choice that you made. At that time, the you that was then made the best choice that you knew how. So you've traveled, distance, boundaries, far apart, and get away. Yeah. So, and since then, you've learned how to set better boundaries, and you've distanced yourself from something, and you've gotten away from something, right? And you're learning how to come back to self here. Mystery. Again, mystery. This is interesting. We got mystery from the other deck too. Where was it? Yeah, it was on this deck. Underneath law. Mystery twice. Right? So there's a mystery here. Like you might not be seeing the whole picture as it is. It says unknown, enigma, illusion, and confusing. Yeah, there was a lot of confusing situations at the time, and it's okay. Like, Source is telling you, like, it's okay. You know, people are like, well, you don't want that done to you. It's not about that. It's not about that. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes there are situations that arise that put us in very precarious places that we have to make the decision that we feel is best at that time. And it might not be a decision that someone else would make. But how would they know that if they're not in that exact same situation? And it's like looking at this with a more open mind. And that's what brings you into this more grounded energy. We have number 4 here with organization, focus, discipline, clarity, structure, empowerment, and problem solving. Stay focused on your life journey. Your angels want you free from distractions. Good organization empowers you to isolate and overcome the difficulties you've been facing. What steps can I take to better organize my life and stay focused on what truly matters? Today, set aside some time to organize your thoughts, plans, or environment. Allow yourself to tackle challenges with clarity and purpose. So getting organized will definitely help you. And it's so funny because for you, Pile 3, I really don't feel like you're asking for love. And some of you maybe, but I really feel like it's just kind of like, well, it'd be nice to have love, but it's not my main focus, right? I just feel like for you, it's more curiosity than anything. Yeah, tangled, look, again, unable to free yourself from a sticky situation. Taking a step back helps you see clearly. And that's what I feel like you did. There was an entanglement here with the shadow. Exit plan. Someone wants out, but they aren't making a move yet. Be prepared for sudden changes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this card is pointing to that. Like, if it was a third party situation, there was promises that were made that weren't kept. Sneaky snake. Yep. Going behind your back, deceitful and swindler. Yeah, I'm not surprised that came out. So these are the shadow aspects that have been at play around your love life for a while. And you're definitely seeing those clearly now. Look, threat with the snake again. Feud, natural enemy, and deadly threat. And I feel like that comes back to that, what I was feeling, like those psychic attacks. Like there's someone here who's very threatened by you, who's trying to create, like they may be trying to do black magic on you. They may be trying to put spells on you. They may be just trying to send you some negative energy. And it's not working. Like, I don't want you to freak out because it's really not working. It's just someone here is just, they really are threatened by you. So we have ring. Yeah. Okay. So this could be the third party. This could be either the person who's married to the person that you were the mistress of, or the mister, I guess. I don't know how you say that anyways. Or this could be just that person, right? We have wedding token and band. Yeah, there's like a situation here where there's someone that was married and I feel like you got involved, and again, no judgment from me. You made the best choice with what you knew at that time, and there's no reason. That's why I keep saying that. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of judgment for you and the decision that you made. But just know that the decision that you made also is what helped bring you to this place of strength and empowerment. Seed. Nurture, great growth, potential, and possibility. Yeah, you planted some really strong seeds at that time. It was like recognizing what you didn't want. From life, you're like, I don't want to put up with this anymore. Like, I want something else. And that's why it's saying you're like magnetizing your soul tribe to you. Fire, carnival, celebration, and ceremony. Wasn't I saying that being burned, like been burned, and divine intervention? Yeah, it's like this is all part of it. It's just showing like you had to go through the fire. You had to go through the fire to rise again like the phoenix that you are. Flirt, seduce, lover, and lust. Okay. So it's okay for you to flirt. It's okay for you to have fun with people. It's okay for you to date. Like they're saying, like this is your green light if you've been wondering about that. We have reject with negation, never, forbid, and taboo. Yeah, and this goes back to what I was feeling. Like this reject card goes back to that third party. There's a mistress or a mister situation here. Like there's a situation that a lot of people have a huge opinion on, but have never been in a situation like that. So they really don't have the right to have an opinion on. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it feels like here, it's just something that's very taboo. It's something that people are like, oh, I'd never do that. Like, you don't understand. And it's like, no, if you were in my shoes, you don't know what you would have done. Like, that's the thing, right? They don't know. They can say all they want, but it's still just speculation. Yeah, home, refuge, belong, and haven. Creating that safe haven for yourself right now is so vital. Wow, key people, core of the problem, and pass. Yeah, you passed this. You got past it. And now you're recognizing like what that was in your life and what the situation played out as. And now you're coming into a state where you're calling in key people. And now there's a new sign of hope coming in. Hope, expect, desire, wish. Yeah, this is a lot more positive here. Hidden truth. Yeah, hidden things, seeing treasure box or treasure and tip of the iceberg. Yeah. So that's the thing too. Like everybody's only seeing this much, and there was this much that was going on. So if you're only seeing this much and there's all this that's going on, like you can't judge this much of what you know, right? Like social media, we can't judge people like, oh, they're in a happy relationship just because they post smiling pictures. We're seeing one snapshot of a lifetime. That doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up, right? So that's what I was saying. It's like you found some hidden truth, but the hidden truth that you found or that you are finding has to do with you and your own journey. And it's a key to opening up your wishes and your desires here. Commitment, oath, agreement, pledge, and promise. Yeah, and I feel like there's a recommitment to self and what you desire. Seeds. Again, we got seeds twice, spring. So this actually puts you in a position to plant very fertile seeds. Closed off, guarded, resistance. What did I say? Like, you don't have to be the one to carry people anymore. You're seeing this now. Integration and union. Okay, so you're integrating all those lessons now. This has led you into a place of seeing your value, your worth, connecting with your higher self, having the soul activation, trusting divine timing. Oh, I love these messages for you. Woo, okay, here we go. This card rarely comes out, but we had twin flames coming up twice. This could have been a twin flame for you, or this is your twin flame coming in. Okay, and for those of you that came from pile two messages still stand. If you're just watching because you wanted to hear something else and you wanted to hear something good, I'm just calling you out because I feel like I need to. Source just brought that through right now. So remember, I'm just the channel, just the messenger, but also remembering that, you know, this could have been a twin flame situation that had you in a third party and you're moving on from that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look, she's crying. She's crying in this picture, right? Aid, mercy, charity, and kindness. This is Source giving you a helping hand here, getting you out of a sticky situation. Protest, inadequacy, sue, and attention. Yeah, so there could have been a lawsuit here. There could have been a third-party situation with a twin. Whatever it wasn't pretty. Right? It was not pretty. And so now it's like activating your higher self. And this also feels like soul union, which is way different than physical union. And actually, if you check out my podcast, I talk about that on there. Okay. Wow. Yeah, we have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Yeah, so this is showing that there's someone new that's coming in that's going to be more matched with your energy. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. Yeah, huge chemistry. And a heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Yeah, so there's someone here who's going to come in because of all this growth that's going to match you on your level. Like, they're going to meet you where you're at. They're not going to put you through all that craziness where you've been burned, you've had to go through the fire, you've had to deal with hardships, right? Like, you carnival, celebration, and ceremony. Like, you're now in this very powerful place. But it had to come from this catalyst and this dealing with the karma, and that came from being burned, right? Like, that all came from that. And so it's just interesting because now you're rising like the phoenix, and from that you're becoming incredibly magnetic to the people who are a part of your soul tribe. You're connecting with your solar system. Like, you can't get over that. Like, you keep saying that, like, you're connecting with your solar system. So that could be you recognizing you're a starseed as well. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you got the golden egg. Whoa. Oh, I'm so glad this came through for you. Hold up. This is a spirit message coming through. Black egg, golden egg. Message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. That's what anahata means. It says, within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. This sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, you know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. And we have the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This called anahata is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation waiting for us. Anahata translates to the unstruck sound. Yeah. So this is such a powerful message for you, pile number 3. Like, there's like this rebirth that's coming in. Definitely some of you could have come from pile number 2. Please only watch that if you felt called to, because this is a very triggering reading. Like, it was not comfortable for me to go through, but we had to get through it. So yeah, it's one of those things, but I just feel like this is also reminding you, it's like being open, right? We have that, keep an open mind. It's may not be what you thought it was going to be or who you thought it was going to be, but having an open mind allows you to receive that aid from source and to call in exactly who's meant to be there for you, where there is a lot of chemistry and there are a lot of heart-to-heart conversations. Someone who doesn't ignore you, someone who is open and not closed off, right? So this was a very powerful message, pile number 3. If you felt like this was your message, leave the little egg emoji down below with the flame. Say, it is through the fire and the ashes that I've become connected deeply to the unstruck sound that resides within my heart space, and I listen deeply to what it asks of me, and I follow, knowing this is where my freedom is. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box. In order to do so, you can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. I want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this deeply intense, incredible reading. I'm so proud of you, pile number 3, and I'm so honored that I got to connect with you in this way. Okay, so with that being said, until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.